That was hysterical, actually. Okay, so I think we're live.
Oh my, that was funny.
That was hysterical. All right, so just make sure we're up here. Jeff, can you read the comments too if we answer questions?
Yeah, let me get over here.
Okay,
I just got to notice that you're live, so I can do that.
Great.
Let me mute it. Boom.
Yep, probably a good idea.
All right.
Okay, so welcome to Channel 27, everybody. I'm Heidi Vandenberg, if you don't know that, and I have a special guest on my channel today. It's a VIP interview. It's Jeffery Daugherty. He is a philosopher. He's an author. He has been on Coast to Coast. He has he reads poems. He's basically a life coach as well, and just wanted to interview him, and maybe we may do some readings later because I've done a few shows on his channel and that went well, and we did one last night. So Jeff, why don't you tell everybody how to get a hold of you? I put your links in the bottom just so everybody subscribe to your YouTube channel and everything, but tell us about how to get a hold of you, what you do, and I want to start by asking you how you got into this spiritual path that you're on.
Yeah, it's crazy. Kind of a weird story, but the easiest way to get in touch with me or find out about what I do is just go to the YouTube channel. Just type in Jeff Daugherty or Christian Whistleblower in YouTube or Christian Whistleblower YouTube into Google. It'll come up for you easily, and there's a link to the website that's on the Facebook page. But yeah, for 20 years, Heidi, I don't know how many people don't know the story, but for 20 years, I was a Pentecostal preacher. Assemblies of God mainly, that's the people that speak in tongues and raise their hands and heal people and cast out devils and all that. So I was hardcore born again. I was sold out the whole route and did that for 20 years and just got to the place where I began to realize it took me probably 10 years longer than it should have, but it took me a few years to figure out that things weren't right. Things were a sham. Things were not real. Things were not true. And I began to realize that there was a very big difference between the Christian religion and the religion that the Christ himself, came to start and promote. So I basically left that, and now it's been scarily close to 20 years again in the alternative spirituality. So really, I've been from the far right side of the spectrum to probably as far left as you can go as well. So it's been a wild ride. I've always done a lot of healing, a lot of, demon casting out, exorcism, cleansing, whatever you want to call it. I do a lot of work now with people, helping them to get their lives straightened out, their memories straightened out, the gaps in their memories filled in so they can trust their intuition, so they can hear the voice of the spirit, and so they can be on the early warning system from the divine, and so they can have what I call the comforter activation, which gives you access to everything that the divine knows, just like that. So you don't have to worry about not trusting your intuition. And we do, silly things like divining rods and palmistry. But palmistry is actually pretty efficient because it helps you understand what you've been dealt, literally what the hand you've been dealt, and gives you a baseline of where you're supposed to go. And if you like that, you can strengthen it. If you don't like that, you can change it. So it's been an interesting path. It's been a fun path. And I really am pretty excited to figure out what's going to happen next, Heidi.
Yeah. Palmistry, my Indian astrology, a lot of people in India do that. They read palms. There is a lot of truth to that. I definitely totally agree with you on that one.
No, I did not know that there's a lot of palm readers in India.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. So, yeah, I've tried to read my palms, and I actually because my lifeline is really short. It's like cut off real quick. And
like how far down your hand?
What?
How far down your hand?
I don't know. It's like.
And are you left-handed? I see you looking at your left hand.
Isn't that what you're supposed to look at?
Well, are you right-handed or left?
Right-handed.
Well, if you're right-handed, your left hand will kind of tell you what you were dealt.
Yes.
And your right hand will kind of tell you what you've done with it. So I'm guessing that your lifeline on your right hand is probably longer than your lifeline on your left hand.
That is very, very true. Yes.
How about that, folks? I'll be here all week.
Like, it's really short, though. The one on the left, it actually splits. Like, I probably should have died way younger.
Well, you should have. if you've got a shorter lifeline, that means that it's kind of like you're a sprinter running in a marathon. You came out real fast and you're really sprinting and running, and then you just kind of ran out of energy and you're just like, really bogged down. It can mean things like a short life, but typically it doesn't. It's more of a indication of energy and health. But with you, I mean, obviously I could, without even looking at your hand, I knew your right one was a lot different because you've definitely changed that. And that's a great example of, you're dealt a short lifeline, but you've actually made that into a long lifeline by taking the intention and taking the bull by the horns, taking your own reins and running with them. So that's a compliment to you. And it speaks to what type of a person you are. So congratulations.
Well, that's interesting. That makes me feel a little bit better.
Oh, you should. I mean, that is a tremendous victory for you. That shows that you have tremendous strength of character. You have tremendous drive. Anybody that knows you knows that. But you've also got really powerful intention. And some people can dream about a lot of stuff, but they can't make it happen. You can really make it happen. I haven't seen your thumb, but your thumb's probably pretty long and low slung on your hand.
Long and what?
It's low on your hand. It doesn't start up by your fingers. It starts down low.
Yes.
So you're very, very powerful ego, very strong ego, very ready to rock and roll. So yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, a little bit. I do have a little bit of an ego.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy though. I don't think it's bad.
I won't mention the fact that you were curling your eyelashes right before we went live.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but
it's been 20 years since I've seen one of those eyelash curler things. It's hilarious. They haven't changed in 20 years. It's the same damn thing. No development in that technology whatsoever.
That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know what I would do without that eyelash curler. Yeah, but that's interesting. I want you to do my palm reading, though. I'm really interested. I've always wanted to do that, and but that's kind of like astrology. I'm going to say, because your chart is like, I totally think you're given and it's funny, you said you were born with more than, it was kind of a rough birth or whatever. And that's the same thing, the same dasha that I was born in, and how I was born with Mars in the first house. That's like a rough birth, like for astrology. So it's just interesting. Oh, it's interesting how it like all intertwines,
they're very complementary. If someone, it's like I was mentioning last night, and with you and Jenny, if there's a lot of it correlates, it goes together. If each of the persons that are each of the practitioners know what they're doing, it really works together and flows together well. And that's why it's so important I think for people to remain open to different ideas. Oh, astrology is all there is. No, there's a lot there's no reason that you should limit yourself in your understanding, development of different gifts and tools. I mean, it's like, oh no, all I want's a hammer. All I need is a hammer. I don't need any screwdrivers. I don't need any drills, just a hammer. Ridiculous, right? But that's the way people get.
Yeah. And you know what, Jeff, you know a lot of ancient texts, and obviously a lot of my subscribers are your subscribers too. And I'm just adding Lee as the moderator due to the fact that he is so similar to my birth chart.
That's hilarious. When you did that last night, you're like, this is Lee. Oh no, I knew it was Lee.
I know but that's crazy. And I want to know, Lee, did he even make any comments if it was right or not? He didn't, did he? He's still being.
He didn't say anything. And I know I'm supposed to be watching the chat. I haven't been. Sorry. I'll watch it.
No, it's okay. But yeah, I'll say, like, whatever spiritual practice, I look at it like whatever spiritual practice that helps you feel better about yourself, that feels better about, helps you get through your daily routine and feel better about yourself. That's what you should do. Astrology is not for everybody. And, the Bible is not for everybody. I mean, I just think, just respect everybody's thoughts and beliefs, and, that's how I look at things. And you seem to be, a lot like that too. So
one of the things you just said really, really struck me is that, find something that is, that resonates with you and do it. And I really believe, I'm just trying to check and make sure that everything's cool over here. I really believe that everybody that's in this chat room, everybody that's listening to this broadcast, with the exception of maybe Veltman, really has something to offer and really something to give, and really has a place of value within our world and within our genre. And there's really, especially these people here and the type of people that are tuned in to, Rex and you and Jenny and, people like us and Wayne, they really probably have a calling and a job, and they should it's great to watch and learn and participate, but start asking yourself, what is my gig? What is my role? What am I supposed to be doing? Because I'm convinced that most of these people, if not all of them,
should all have YouTube channels.
Should be involved in something, absolutely, and giving.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because that's how I was, but I would have never been like, oh, I'm going to make a YouTube channel until it all happened with Rex.
Yeah, what is that story with Rex? What happened?
So Rex, and I thought the world was ending last year, and I thought a couple asteroids were coming, and I was a little paranoid and a little
you get that way every now and then, don't you? As I remember talking with you too about the hurricanes, like it was, oh my God, it's all over.
Yeah, but this was even before this was really just, I had a lot of shitty readings from a few different weird things, and they weren't even astrology readings. I had some spiritual people that have said some things to me, and actually, I'm not even going to say what it was and what happened, but because I don't want to call anybody out, but it had to somebody that was into some religion asked somebody that was, long story short, that said that it was a really bad time for me not to drive. I was going to get my arms chopped off. Like, it was something really horrific.
I don't mean to laugh, but that sounds just crazy.
It was really crazy. I always get those like nice, anytime I ask for a reading, I always hear what I probably shouldn't ask for readings. Like, that's just how it is. When I try to read my own chart or get my chart read, it's like, it just doesn't work well. It's always
reading your own chart generally is not a great idea, right?
Yeah, it gets really stressful because that, let me just say, that's probably the most stressful part about astrology is when you know so many things, you have to really step back and not let that interfere in your life, or you just don't have a life. Right. It's like one of those things. So, but yeah, I had this horrible experience, and I ended up like looking at something about Nibiru with an asteroid. I saw an asteroid was coming, and then it took me to Nibiru on Rex's channel, and I really didn't like that particular thing that I saw. But what I did, I still subscribed because he had a ton of videos.
So that's how you found Rex, was just through doing a Nibiru search kind of thing.
Well, it wasn't even that. I Googled 2016 asteroid, August 26th. That's exactly what it was. Because
interesting.
And you know what? It was my mom's birthday, and my chart had a death transit. And my mom wanted to go to Florida because, I told you she has a house in Florida. And we were all going to her house in Florida, my sister and my mom. And it was just hysterical because my mom always picks to travel on these horrible days, always. And she's like so practical and so doesn't listen to that kind of stuff. She's a nurse, anesthetist. And she was like, Heidi, and it was my mom's birthday. I'm like, Heidi, you need to stop. Like, you have to settle down. But there was a lot of energy in the air. It was the eclipse. It's always that time of the month. And that's what I'm noticing, though, now. Every year, it's that time of month. It's August. It's dangerous. Notice the patterns. Like, it's always comes up. There's a big fear. And so anyway, a couple months later, I think it was November, then I saw Rex posted something else on the Leak Project. It was something about, he was talking about the economy and Trump. And I was watching that election all day, left and right. And he said some really nice things about Trump. And that's why I kept following him.
Did you like President Trump right from the beginning?
Since day one. Yeah.
When did you first take notice of him?
Well, I'll never forget. Many years ago, somebody said to me, I think it might have been my dad. He was just like, he's like, you're gonna, what did he say? He's like, I bet Donald Trump runs for president one day. Like, he was joking. I think he was joking. And so when it happened, I really wasn't surprised. But I watched him, and every time I'd be like, oh, did he say that? Like, oh, shit, did he say that? But I get it. Why? Because I have a lot of correlations like he does, where I say things and it's, I will act impulsively sometimes. And so it's totally out of just a reaction. It's not even my real personality. And then you're like, oh shit, why did I do that?
Right.
And I know he has a lot of that in his chart. It's Mars in the first house. When you have Mars in the first house, that's the way you are. You will say things and you don't even mean to say it, or you'll do something or react a certain way because of your ego.
So it's ready, fire, aim.
Yeah, there's no freaking sit around and think on it. Him and I act on straight up compulsions. It's like, If somebody triggers us, there's a trigger, it's done. So I have a lot of respect for him for that. And not respect, but understanding, okay, to say the least. I mean, that's what it is. So yeah, I've always liked him, and I always was like, oh, did he say that? And I would say in my head, I knew so many things though that he was talking about during the campaign were not what he would. It was all an act, you know. It was an act. It was the way to get him to stand out so he would win. And I do know that. Like, I know a lot of that. A lot of his spiels was not like when he said things that crossed lines. That wasn't really him, because he's not racist. I know he's not racist. I know he's not, you know, and I don't want to go on a Trump tyrant because I'll lose a ton of subscribers.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, but no, I don't care. Like, you know, I will say that's my beliefs and respect it. If you like Hillary that much, I don't like her, but you know, I'll respect that you like her. That's how I feel. Yeah. So. And
then Rex says to you, you should start doing astrology.
Oh, no. Sorry. Look how we like totally went off.
That was my fault. I'm sorry.
Okay. So then I sent a message to Rex because he talked about something about his dreams and leaving the body. But then he talked about he was brought up in a Christian school or a Christian upbringing. So then that struck my interest because that was my upbringing.
Right.
And I was, that's why I was so excited to talk to you, because I was saved on a daily basis. Like, I literally used to write Heidi loves Jesus on her walls, glow in the dark paint. And I was obsessed with what happens when you die. And I was scared to death to die.
I'm surprised you don't have a fish tattoo, Heidi.
A fish? No, not a fish tattoo. I certainly don't have that. But I was really scared. And, you know, and I'm going to say I was on my best behavior back then. This is when I was like a saint. So I don't know. I said something to him. I was like, hey, Rex, I was like, just curious. And this is my number one question. If I have any type of communication with you, you can even ask like people that I've sold homes to, my clients, if I can build a rapport with them, I'm asking them what time they were born. Like, if we're on that level, like some of my homeowners right now, they might be watching this. Like, they're my people that I have under contract, or, you know, my friends that I now do their charts, their kids' charts. So here's the, it's really like, I can't control it. It comes out automatically. The first thing I'm going to ask you when I run into you, if it can come out and if we're in that right mood, I'm going to ask you what time you're born. And so I just sent him a message because this is how I studied astrology. I asked everybody what time they were born. And just to learn, this is how I learned astrology, was from reading other charts. And, you know, that's what happened. And he was like, I read his chart and he was like blown away. But then he goes, I want you to do a show on my channel. And I was like, on what? Because then we would talk about conspiracies, and I talked about with Trump a lot with him. You know, I told him how I felt, told him about his chart, and he goes, I want you to do a show on my channel. And I was like, on what? And he goes, Donald Trump. He goes, and I said, Rex.
Oh, nice.
And that's how it happened. Like, if you watch the first show, and it got a lot of views. It got like 60,000 views. And I was reading charts for free for like a month. And just people were contacting me. And I didn't even know what day it was. So it was really tough. But now we're here. So, you know, kudos to him. And I'm forever grateful for that, obviously, because it wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have met you. Like, my life has changed so much now. I feel like my friends are all virtual, which is fine. I like it. You know, literally, like, I have like 5 new best friends that are on the screen, but I talk to them all the time. You know,
that's awesome. True. Is there any regrets?
Oh my God, no, it's absolutely not. No.
Cool. And think of how many people's lives that, I mean, literally, Heidi, almost every time I meet with someone, the first sentence out of their mouth is, well, I did a reading with Heidi. And I mean, you've changed so many people's lives and had a great impact on so many people's lives.
That's good. I hope so. I mean, and that's, you know what? Astrology did that to me. So the fact that I know it's true, it's not, and I never was like, oh, I want to be an astrologer. I never had that, you know, I'm too practical. Okay. Here's where my, I don't know, ego comes in the way. Like, for me to say that I'm an astrologer I can't do it. That's why I had to call it a life coach. And in addition, so I don't offend anybody that's Christian, because, I learned that real quick, that a lot of Christians are scared of astrology. So that's a great question to talk to you about. Why do you say that that is so conflicted in the Bible?
Well, it's very, very clear that Christianity is very hardcore against astrology. I mean, astrology, witchcraft, sorcery, and I'm forgetting one, but there's like the big four: astrology, witchcraft, sorcery, and I guess you could add idolatry in there. But if you think about what would you, if you had to give me in one sentence, Heidi, what does astrology do?
It helps you with your life purpose.
Exactly. Astrology gives people an idea of their life purpose. It gives an idea of who they are, gives an idea of what they are, gives an idea of their strengths, gives an idea of their weakness, gives them clarity, gives them direction, and it empowers people. In religion, Christianity, whether it's Roman Catholicism or Roman Protestantism, is not in the people empowering business. In fact, they're in the opposite. They want you to stay within the mold. They want you to stay within the box. They want you to do what you're told, when you're told, where you're told, how you're told. They don't want any original thought. They don't want you looking within. They want you doing what you're told, listening up, doing what you're told, and paying your money. So anything that empowers a person or gives a person some sovereignty, some divinity, makes them divine, sovereign, free, is against the dominant religious paradigm. So that's why astrology and witchcraft and what they call sorcery, anything that gives people empowerment and information and direction that doesn't come from what the Pope or the priest or the pastor says, is an enemy, and it has to be resisted in the strongest terms. So that's why you see such a tremendous demonization of any type of astrology. Soothsayer is the word I was looking for. Astrology, fortune telling, soothsaying, any of that. So bad in the Bible, just as bad as homosexuality and, having sex with animals. It's all in the same category. It really is, literally. I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I never heard that. So, like I said, I was very religious. Okay. I mean, I was like blasphemy. I still sometimes worry about that, but then I'm like, Heidi, like there's still that little weird fear in the back of my head, but I know it's not realistic. It's just,
Rebel Rose in the chat room says they want you on your knees.
What do you mean?
They want you on your knees, subservient. They want you.
Oh, I was like,
yeah, I know where you were going with that. No,
what do you mean?
They want you subservient to them.
Yeah.
And Heidi, I mean, you're 30 something, but from the time you were this tall, from the time that you could hear, you were having Christianity pounded into you. You
know what? Let me say that though. It wasn't that way. I wanted to do it.
But if you watch TV, listen, I mean, this is a thoroughly Christian culture.
No, I never watched TV. It's funny because.
No kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm a weird kid. I was a weird kid. I was hanging out with like adults when I was young. I hated other kids because they were.
So how did you get on the Jesus thing?
Because I went to Christian school.
Okay.
And because I was bad. I got in trouble a few times with like boys, and I started doing bad. Like I was a really good student, and then I was made fun of because of my brother, and that's when my life went took the tank. And when I went to Christian school, everybody was at least nice to me. So I loved it. And I loved the whole Christian thing. I was like, I'm a truth seeker. I wanted to know. And nobody forced me to be religious. My family was never the family that was like, we have to go to church on Sunday. They were Christians. I would say I was baptized and all that stuff. Mm. How about the person that delivered me? Isn't that funny, Jeff? What the doctor? Do you remember I sent you that in my baby's book?
Yeah, Dr. Daugherty. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, that was so
funny. Would you say you were more in love with Jesus or you were more afraid of hell?
I was more afraid of hell, hands down.
See, that was my point.
Yeah.
Out of, I probably, 20 years.
Let me tell you a really funny story too after that. So then when I went to college, and this is when I just kind of, I still would say I'm a Christian. I'm not a Christian. But like I say, I have my own religion. It's Heidiism. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. It is what it is. I believe that God talks to me through astrology.
Dean Winchester's in the chat room.
Who is?
Dean Winchester. That's a supernatural joke. You obviously don't watch Supernatural.
I don't watch TV.
Okay, there you go.
I know. Sorry. It's bad.
Well, I watched The Boys on the internet, so you don't have to have a TV. But anyway, we digress. I'm sorry.
No, but so listen, I went to this school and my neighbor or my dorm mates or whatever the hell they were called, the people that live around the corner from you in the dorms.
Oh, you were like in college. Okay.
Yeah, this is college, but she was a Mormon. Okay. And these boys came and talked to her like once a week. And I sat in because I just wanted to know.
Oh, interesting.
I was loving the Mormon thing. Why? Because you don't go to hell. You go to different levels of heaven.
That's right.
So I was like,
the three levels of heaven.
Yeah. And I was like,
celestial, and terrestrial.
Yeah. So I was really liking that. I was seriously really excited about, like, I wasn't a Mormon, but I was like, okay, this is kind of what struck my, okay, something is up. What is going on here? Like this girl, Tracy, I remember her name, Tracy. She was as sweet as can be. You know, that girl was not going to hell. Like, and that's how I look at it. And that kind of opened up my eyes. And then, you know, then when I found astrology and then I found that there's so many different religions, it just changed my life because I'm not scared anymore. I mean, it's literally
That's awesome.
Because the person, I can't believe anything unless I have facts. Like if I meet the guy that wrote the Bible, okay, maybe. But like, we don't know who wrote that Bible. And,
no, we don't.
And I look at it like and I said this to you, Jeff, if you got offended if I asked you this, but you know, from somebody that was a Christian pastor their entire life or rep, whatever you are you a Christian? Like I wanted to hear what you had to say about that. And I have said, can I ask you that? So Jeff, are you a Christian?
I am not a Christian. I would 100% tell you I'm not a Christian. And then I'll also tell you I'm a follower of the teachings of the Christ. So you're like, that sounds hypocritical, but Christianity is a religion started by a guy named Paul, and it is completely diametrically opposed to the faith that the Christ taught. So that's what the New Testament's all about. The teachings of the Christ versus the teachings of Paul. And you can pick whichever one you want. I support your right to do so, but I also support your right to have all the facts so you know that you're making a good decision. And you know, I was just doing fast math in my head, probably at least 15, 20,000, 25,000 people that I quote led to the Lord. And I'll bet you 20,000 of them were getting their eternal fire insurance. They were afraid of hell. They weren't really in love with Jesus. And that shows you it's a fear and guilt-based religion.
Yeah. That's an amazing point because, and for the fact that you can come on here and say that, it like makes me sleep better because when I met you and I knew this about you, it really made me happy because there is still something in the back of my mind that has that fear in me. And it's my Scorpio energy. Scorpios just want to know about death. Like it is what it is. And that Mars and Kate, and you know, you're always looking for, I want to know what everybody else doesn't know. Like that's, right. And it has nothing to do what is going on here. Once it's really I look at this life as we're, you know, just figuring out how to get through this crazy life because means nothing. Like, yeah, it does, but not in my opinion, it's about the next level, but I'm living a moksha life and karmically, like that's what I'm here to do. So, you know, I don't hang on to things that I can.
Thank you, Dean Winchester.
What did he say?
He said, Jeff's got the right idea.
Yeah. And that's what Jeff, when I met you and I said, you know, did you speak in tongues? I used to go to those churches and everybody was speaking in tongues and I would go home and cry and be like, why can't I do it? Like, why can't I speak in tongues? And I would get so upset. Like I was a shit show, a mess because I couldn't speak in tongues. And every day I would cry. And I was so saint-like at this moment. You have to, like, so when somebody goes, oh, you just didn't get the Holy Spirit, that's a crock of shit. Trust me. I was Holy spiriting it all day long. And this was on my own because I wanted it. Like, not because people forced it. It was because of me.
Right. I've really, you know, I spoke in tongues every day of my life, led, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of people to get baptized in the Holy Spirit, speaking in other tongues. And I could have got you there, Heidi. I just let you know, could have done we could have got you there, no problem.
Let's do it. Let's try.
No. But I'm so convinced now that it's actually, and I sound like Rex, but it's actually an archonic virus that the Pentecostal movement has brought into Christianity, and it binds you to the fallen God that's in charge of Christianity. And it really is an invasive virus, mind control, bad voodoo. I mean, it really is something that once you get the speaking in tongues, it's even harder to get out. And who knows, if you'd actually spoken tongues, you might have never got out, Heidi.
I know, I might be running those places, all of them.
You might be.
I mean, seriously.
I got to be honest, I can't picture you as a Mormon, but maybe you'd have been one of those, you'd have been like Joel Osteen style.
No, but I have to say, do you know how Tamu is, she went through some,
7P, $20, Heidi.
So I guess he wants the chart read.
I think so. Well, maybe he's just being really nice.
Yeah, I know. That's so nice. I don't even know how to get to this money in the super chat, and I don't know how to.
They send it to you at the end of every month.
No, I don't know how to get any money from YouTube. I need a lesson on how to get money from YouTube. I'll show you how to do it.
It's very easy.
An imaginary box of this small amount of money. It's like a joke. Seriously.
You just have to put in an account for them to send it to, and then they send it to you at the end of every month.
Every time I've set up we'll talk about this later, but yeah. I did an AdSense thing and they say it's not legit because because my website is not putting prices on it. And I refuse to put prices on my website because I just won't.
You can figure it out. It's pretty easy. But I mean, to this day, right now, if I wanted to, I could still speak in tongues. It's still there.
Really? Is Absolutely. It a language or is it a like getting in the zone, like a channeling thing?
I think it's a channeling thing, and that's another part of it. It opens you up to.
Hold on, I gotta pull your chart, and I want to know what that is. I want to see what that is in your chart. Hold on. I'm not gonna say what it is. Like I'm not gonna make it a big deal. But
it's all right. I mean, like I said, open book. You can ask whatever you want, but it is really a archonic virus. It binds you to the fallen God that runs that show, and it makes it. It's another shackle and chain on your life. So it's fortunate that you didn't speak in tongues.
No. Well, I was really upset. Hold on. I don't have this is the other computer. I don't have your birthday in here.
Okay.
Can you send it to me in the Zoom chat? Or unless you want to just say it.
May 23rd, 1963.
At time, what was the time?
3:34 p.m.
15:34. In what city?
Clearwater, Florida. As I sit here right now, I'm probably 4 miles from the spot I was born.
That's crazy.
It is, and I've been around the world, so it's kind of nice to be back. And there really is, to me at least, there's something about being home. There really is some type of an attachment, a comfort to the land that you were born on. I don't know if you got to get over 50 to start feeling that, but it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Where were you born?
Pittsburgh. I do not have that feeling. I get nauseous when I think I have to go there.
You might in a few years, Heidi.
Oh no, never. I will never like going there. Never.
Pittsburgh's a cool city. I went there.
Really not. I have horrible memories there, and my chart is not designed to like it there.
Really?
Yeah.
So your chart can tell you where you would like to be geographically.
Oh hell yeah, absolutely. You will never be like I will never be in Pittsburgh ever again. Like I'd rather. No comment. So I just don't like it there.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
Don't like it. I would always say, like, if I have to go there for Christmas, I have to go there. If somebody dies, that's when I have to go. Like and my family knows that. They know this is legit. Like, this is how I think. But I don't have any good memories there. The minute I literally could leave, I was gone. And I never came back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, you're definitely a woman of strong passions, aren't you? It's just either or with you. It's black or white.
Oh, it's black or white. There's no gray.
Yeah.
There's no gray. I wish there was a little bit of a gray. I like the color gray, but I also like the colors black and white. But when it comes to my mental, yeah, I'm not open-minded like that. People are like, you seem like you're very Sagittarius. And I'm like, absolutely not. I am like, oh, it's bad. I'm very black and white, hands down.
But yet you were able to go from a hardcore Christian outlook to now being a person that practices Vedic astrology.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you know what, if I find something better, I go to that. Like I'm never closed-minded to it. That's how I look at things. I'm not going to be, you know what, let me tell you something about you. Sorry,
Tell
not
me
to.
something about me.
So I don't really know where that speaking in tongues is even coming from. Maybe this whole, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even see that in your chart. Like I wouldn't say maybe Neptune, that could do it maybe. But
it was just part of the gig, Heidi. It's part of what you had to do.
God, that's crazy. But did you have to learn it? Like how did you start doing it? Tell me what happened.
What happens is you get yourself into a prayer, and this is what I used to always teach people. Start praying, start worshiping, praying and worshiping, and then stop using English. And when you stop using English, you'll feel some utterance come into your mind, into your heart, and you just start speaking it out, no matter how silly it sounds. And then once you do that, it just starts flowing.
You know what? It's got to be Rahu and Purnavasu. Because that, you know what, that makes sense. Because Rahu is an illusion. It's connecting. Remember, I always talk about this. And Rahu.
Oh, that's powerful, Heidi. That's so good. It is an illusion.
It is. So Rahu and Purnavasu.
It's an illusion of power is what it is, because they teach you it's power.
Yeah.
You receive power after you get your prayer language.
So this is interesting because let me tell you this. Sorry.
It's not real. No, Maximo sees it is not real. It's real, but it's a like I said, it's a virus. It's a deception.
It's a virus. That's interesting. So Purnavasu Nakshatra sprawls throughout Gemini and Cancer. So it's in two sides. And I will say this, people that have a lot of planets in Cancer are like the priest that was at my brother's funeral. I asked him and he knew he was a Cancer. And there's a lot of Cancers that are very religious. And even
was he a priest or a preacher?
I don't know. He was like
Catholic or Protestant?
And not Catholic.
Okay, so he was a pastor, a minister.
Yeah, pastor. And you want to know a funny story? I used to go to Catholic churches, and I would go up and I would call those pogs, those styrofoam things, the communion. And like you have to take them, you stick them in your mouth. I didn't know what to do with it. And I took it because I didn't know you couldn't take communion. And I just like followed the drill. Everybody else was going and I like crossed my hands and I just went with the flow because I didn't know you had to like be communized or whatever the hell it's called.
And somebody asked in the chat room, is it channeling? Yeah, it really is. It's channeling. Yeah. You're channeling the spirit of a fallen God, and you're tying yourself to that fallen God.
And Jeff, I'm going to say something. Channeling, it's like if I gave you a reading, you have that gift. So that's very easy and simple. Like Maga, Mars in the 12th, that's like somebody that can leave the body in dreams too. But then Rahu in the 9th, that's like channeling to other realms in Rahu. It's extreme. So absolutely.
I'm from, it was the Assemblies of God mainly. I started off in the Church of God in Christ, which is people, I'm answering questions on the chat room.
Yeah.
I started off in the Church of God in Christ, which is about 99% black. I was there for about 3 years. Then I went to the Assemblies of God. Then that was too liberal for me. So I went to the Church of God, Cleveland, Tennessee, and wound up on my way out being a Sabbath keeping Pentecostal, meaning I thought going to church on Saturday was important because that was the real Sabbath. So yeah, I was really searching. And it's funny because towards the end, when I was still a preacher, and this still happens to me now, obviously, but I'd be up preaching and like I would see people in the audience and I would know what was going on in their life. Just know it, just boom.
Yeah.
And I would, I started telling people, and this one guy is like,
look, here comes the cat.
Yeah. There's this one guy, he says, say it over the microphone. I'm like, no, you don't want me to say it over the microphone. He goes, no, please say it over the microphone. I said, no. He goes, say it over the microphone, please. This is okay. You're addicted to internet pornography. And it was true. And I mean, it's just, I was reading.
And you would say that and call people out like that?
Well, he made me. He said, say it over the microphone. So I finally did. The guy that I was trying to tell him in his ear. And he wouldn't. He said, no, say it on the microphone. So.
Oh, my God. You know what? I just had a really weird vision, like, of you. And if you were, oh, my God, this is so funny. But I could just imagine you being in, like, that church. And I would be flying up to those altars every day. Every day you go to church, you go to get saved. Like, every day you re-get saved in a way.
You do. There's tons of people that are exactly that way.
Oh my God. And then I would leave and I would be like, why do I feel so guilty? What the hell? I didn't even do anything.
See, that's the beauty of it, Heidi. It sets such a, take every thought captive for Christ. Don't have any bad thoughts. If you're thinking about adultery, it's just as bad as having done it. If you're thinking about something, just see, the whole thing is to keep you feeling guilty, because it keeps you what? Coming back to church, coming back to the altar.
Yes.
It's by design, Heidi. That's the way it's set up.
That is what, let me just say, I'm going to be very honest here. That is what screwed me up. Like that right there. I would leave and just have to apologize for every thought that I thought that was like bad. Like if I thought about my teachers, like, because I have a lot of I had a lot of crazy thoughts as a young kid. Like I was always thinking about some wild shit. Like it was always like older people, and I was having some weird thoughts as a young adult, to say the least. I wasn't playing Barbies. I was playing like let's play bar, let's play house.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was not a normal kid. When I was 5, I thought I was 15. This is how I grew up really fast.
You've never been normal, and you never will. I mean, very few of us are normal.
Yeah, but then I would be like, oh my God, why do I would I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's true. I would seriously think like about the thoughts that I had, and then just go. It was so depressing. And then I would go get saved, go get fixed, or whatever you call it, then go home and have the same shit, like same things. I'd be like, why can't I stop thinking about it? Why?
Because you can't. Number one, because you're human, and because number two, they keep telling you the classic, don't think about a white elephant. And what are you thinking about? A white elephant. And that's what they're telling you. Don't, to make sure that you do. So you feel really bad. So you keep coming back.
Yeah.
It locks you in. It's a fear and guilt control matrix.
Somebody said a comment, Jeff is surrounded by Scientologists in Clearwater. I actually thought about that too. And you have made a comment about Tom Cruise. So what are your thoughts on Scientology?
Scientology, as it is today, it's just another fear and guilt control matrix. It's a terrible trap for people to get into. It imprisons people. It definitely does. It's a horrible, bad top-down bureaucracy. It's another soul farm. Yeah. That being said, what people don't understand about Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard started it. And L. Ron Hubbard really didn't invent one thing. L. Ron Hubbard traveled the world.
What's his birthday?
I don't know what time he was born.
Do we have his birthday? I'd just be curious.
He picked pieces from here and there. And he picked a lot of spiritual technologies that are very effective. So within Scientology, within the mass of this huge monolithic bad thing, there are some very, very powerful and useful spiritual technologies within the system. And there's a lot of people there's people in the system that are good people. So even though Scientology is bad, there's some things within it that are very practical, very useful, and they didn't come from Scientology. There's nothing original in Scientology. Scientology is bits and pieces from everywhere. So I don't know if that answered the question, but.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what they think. I thought it was aliens. Do they believe in aliens or something?
Well, they believe that. I mean, if you really think about it, they believe what a lot of people in this genre believe. They believe that humans came from somewhere else, and these space aliens brought people here, dropped them off. Most of them were bad people, and they put nuclear bombs into volcanoes to blow these people up. And all of the problems that we have are the disembodied spirits of those other people that attach onto us. So we have to go through our life and they're called thetans, get all these people off of us. But when you think about it,
kind of makes sense.
It sounds a whole lot like what a lot of these other people here do. But the thing about Scientology is you go in and they do this auditing, and you have to, you confess all of your bad thoughts and stuff, just like Christianity.
Yeah,
only it's better, Heidi, they record it.
Oh my God.
So if you ever want to leave the church, they'll say, oh, really? They'll sit you down and they'll hit play.
Here, well, look,
really want people to know about this.
Hold on, I got the birthday of that guy.
L. Ron Hubbard. Lafayette Ronald Hubbard.
Oh my gosh, let's do this. This will be interesting. That's funny though, because, and that's, once again, here we go. But it's like that might be somewhat of the truth, like some of the religion part of it, or whatever the hell you want to call it, religion or might be like part of the story of what really goes on. But then what happens is they take it to the extremes. They want to make a business out of it. They want to scare people, trap
I
them.
remember he was born in Nebraska.
What?
I think he was born in Nebraska.
Yeah, we have March 13th, 1911.
Yeah, Tilden, Nebraska. Doesn't say what time. I Googled time. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm going to read it like the normal, like, just pretending like I don't have the time.
But it's just, I mean, the one thing I don't, well, anyway, we'll just leave it at that.
What? Go ahead, say it.
No, the only thing I was going to say is a lot of people, will, jump up and, say bad things about Scientologists and Scientology should be shot and all that. But what I always think about is who's going to be the next unpopular religion. So people have a right to be Scientologists, and Scientologists should not be discriminated against because they're Scientologists.
This is crazy. I cannot explain to you these patterns that are in every single person that is like extremely religious, and I'm not saying about what religion, okay?
Right.
But let's just say this. The guy that started the cult, what is that called? The Waco, Texas thing, right?
That was David Koresh.
Yeah. He had a lot of planets in Revati, like me. My moon is in Revati alone. Okay, so I'm noticing a new pattern here. Revati Nakshatra, that's why my channel is named Channel 27, just so everybody knows. 27, the 27th Nakshatra Revati is the Nakshatra. It's the last one. It's the mystical one. It's a very spiritual person. It's somebody that is into like mysticism. But I'm starting to notice that a lot of people with planets in Revati are very religious and like, and like can go either way. I'm noticing specific nakshatras that are extremely religious. Now he's got the liberal chart, like the Clintons, like everybody else. Jupiter and Venus conjunct, or Jupiter and K2 conjunct. Everybody that has Jupiter and K2 conjunct ends up getting on like the bandwagon. The Pope has this. Okay,
it's funny because Scientologists are typically very libertarian. They were all about Ron Paul.
Let me tell you so much that I will say that one of the scariest charts I've ever seen is the Pope, hands down.
This guy now?
Yeah.
The Pope, what's his name, Francis?
Yeah. And people were like, oh, he's so great. No, he is sketchy. Let me just say that. And I will respect him because he's older than me and he's an elder or whatever you want to call it. But like, I guarantee you, he is not the person that we think he is.
Let me say this. Let me blow some people's minds, Heidi. There's more truth in Scientology than there was in the Assemblies of God. How about that?
There's more. Say that one more time.
There's more truth in Scientology than there was in the Assemblies of God.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, let me say another thing about him too. Then remember how I said we did that chart? Was it with you and we pulled that chart with Rex about the Aswani, the Nakshatra, and I said about horses, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so all these people are he's got Saturn conjunct Rahu and Aries in the two darkest, Rahu's in one of the darkest nakshatras, Barini, the god of death.
Oh, we were pulling the guy that started the Jesuits.
Yeah. Saturn's in Aswani, like I say, this is like a communist chart. That's what this is. Jupiter conjunct Ketu is somebody that can be very communist. Now, I've talked so much today.
Take a drink, Heidi.
It's almost gone. So when you have Jupiter conjunct Ketu, it's somebody that literally is extreme with their beliefs, but they were extremely practical to get there because they didn't believe just any and this is where nakshatras take a big toll, okay? Because Jupiter and Ketu in Vishaka nakshatra, that's very liberal. Like down that route of, the Pope, the Hillary Clintons, the Podestas, all that. That's how this chart looks. Okay. This is all that chart. Sun and Mercury. This is like the George Soros chart.
Really?
Yeah. George Soros mixed with the Pope, mixed with some Clintons.
That's interesting because a lot of people have speculated that it was L. Ron Hubbard that gave the money to build the Georgia Guidestones.
I don't even know what that is. Sorry.
But L. Ron Hubbard did not say, I'll make $1 billion by starting a religion. That was actually Heinlein, and it was wrongly attributed to L. Ron Hubbard. A lot of people say Hubbard said, if you want to get rich, start a new religion. He didn't say that. Robert Heinlein, another science fiction writer, did. And you got to remember, Hubbard was right up there with all the science fiction writers, with Napoleon Hill, with W. Clement Stone, with Zig Ziglar. He was a self-help teacher. It wasn't until somebody stole his stuff that he turned it into a religion and copyrighted it.
And what saves this person, I do believe, like this Venus in Revity confuses me when I look at this, because I know how my moon thinks and it does not think. And this is Venus in Revity. So this is just, I would say this man was liked music, creativity, all over the place.
Very much so.
And I would say this man also couldn't stick to one woman. He had
he was very much, women
were obsessed with him too.
Absolutely. Thing. And yes, I am sure, Max, but Jack Parsons, who was a contemporary of Aleister Crowley, who was the father of NASA, Jack Parsons and Ron Hubbard were best buds, and they were trying to bring the perfect woman into Jack Parsons' life. They succeeded to do it. And within about 3 months, Hubbard stole the chick from him.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Hubbard was very much a womanizer, and he wasn't the most attractive guy in the world. But like you said, he had so many women falling over him. It was crazy.
And that's because he had Venus in Revity. And there's a multitude of reasons why this guy had people obsessed with him. But
he was very charismatic, wasn't he?
Very. And in a weird way. Okay, so this K2 Jupiter conjunction is somebody that takes on that dictatorship that gets people. Because, okay, what's K2? I have K2 in my first house with Mars. Like if I was in the military, I would be like one of the top dogs in the military. I'd probably be like a sergeant, one of the high up.
A colonel or a general.
Something, I'd be high up. People would respect me. But since I'm not, I act like I'm in the military just in my everyday life, right? Then people think I'm weird. So when you have I look at charts like this very openly. So K2 it gives you this finesse of whatever planet it's conjunct. If it's in a good nakshatra, if it's in a good sign, but he's got K2 conjunct Jupiter. K2 likes to kind of be with Jupiter, just like K2 likes to be with Mars. And I have K2 conjunct Mars in my first house. This guy, I don't know what house it's in, but he's got K2 conjunct Jupiter. And that makes somebody you would think he's the guru, because Jupiter is, it's guru, knowledge, happiness, wisdom, evolution, morality. It's spiritual teacher, husband, talent. If I met this guy when I was younger, I might have followed it too. And
guess what, Heidi? Even after he stole Jack Parsons' chick,
yeah,
they remained best friends.
Yeah, see, because he probably put some spell on that guy too.
You can listen to some of his lectures and stuff, and the guy was spellbinding, and his writing is very good too. It's just he was definitely a person, and the astrology talks about he had a lot of charisma and power.
You just said writing. Okay, if you read this guy's chart from the moon, you start. If you don't know somebody's time, what you do is you make the moon the ascendant. So if we make his moon the ascendant, guess what? His the third house of writing, courage, hard work, TV, journalism, speaking is Jupiter and K2 conjunct. So
he has a Guinness Book of World Records for most words written and most books published in the most languages.
That's freaking nuts. But that's that. So I said that K2 Jupiter thing is that magnetic, that thing that's drawing people, and people don't know why. They don't know
exactly. How do you explain it? But yeah, it just was.
Just like the Pope, though, is the Pope.
Yeah, I don't get the thing with the Pope, but like you said, people love him.
Yeah, they do. They think
he's the first Jesuit Pope, by the way.
I don't understand all that. Clearly, there's here's my opinion. I know nothing about I think it's odd that Jerusalem, and there's so much protection there. There's just so much. Obviously, they're in control. It's just common sense. It's really simple. I mean, if you can live in Jerusalem or that area, and you can say it's sacred or whatever, which it is clearly, but they made it sacred. That's how I believe. And I have friends there. I have people there. They're, and I've heard the people that have put their hands on that wall, and it's whatever. But I will say that there's something going on. The whole religion thing obviously starts,
Yep.
In my opinion. I don't really research stuff like that, but That is definitely one. So somebody asked me, okay, we're going to do some Q&A too. So if you guys want to ask us.
You know who Guru Prasad is?
Who?
Guru Prasad in the chat room from India.
Maybe. Let me see his name and see the face, if there's a face.
There's not. It's just a P.
Oh, then maybe.
Pope on a rope.
Pope on a rope.
And L. Ron Hubbard was a captain and a lieutenant. He was commanded 2 ships in the Navy. I mean, he fired on Japanese submarines that said he was crazy, and they come to find out that there really were Japanese submarines off the coast of Oregon back in those years. So,
yeah,
he wasn't a total nutcase. He was.
Yeah, somebody wrote, conspiracy theorists believe that the Pope and the Queen of England drink blood of young children. I'm going to say this. I never thought that could be true, but I do believe that.
Yep. Crowley never met Hubbard. That's correct, Doc Illusion. They talked a lot on the phone, but Crowley was in England, and Parsons and Hubbard were in Southern California. And Parsons did tell Crowley that Hubbard was had the best Hermetic mind he'd ever met.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I've noticed that Hermetics, I don't even know what that is, but I notice a lot of people with planets in Revity have that Hermetic thing. Like, I should actually try doing that kind of stuff. So what's Heidi's birthday? September 12, 1984, 1338. It's all over my channel.
Tomorrow's Friday the 13th, Heidi.
I know. Let's talk about Friday. Let's talk about Friday the 13th. So if there's anybody new watching here, Western way, I'm Sagittarius ascendant. I'm a Aries moon, and I'm a Virgo sun, but it's totally bogus. I'm a Scorpio rising, I'm a Pisces moon, and I'm a Leo sun. So.
Wow. I hope God's boy is kidding.
What did he say?
He said, sacrifice your own blood if you want watch or power.
I mean, that's kind of weird. I wouldn't drink.
That's very, 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 very bad idea. I would never.
I'm not drinking any blood.
I would never do blood over intent. That's a horrible idea.
Unless I had a bloody nose. That's really why I'm drinking it.
Bad news. Bad news. Don't do it.
Seriously, I think that's I'm not that person that. See, but my chart doesn't have that sacrificial stuff in it at all. Not for 1 second. I have a chart, and this is why I know Donald Trump is nothing like any of those elites. He has no planets in anything. He's just like me. And I can tell you that I would have never in my entire life even thought that shit happened. And I don't think he did either.
Interesting. Are the Vedic, do any of the Vedic gods ask for blood sacrifice?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, who knows? I mean, I've never heard that story, but possibly it's a possibility. I've never heard anything weird, sick and twisted besides, destruction, destroying. I've heard killing, just bringing, I've heard some bad stuff, but I never heard of drinking blood.
Okay.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. Heidi, does remedies in Vedic astrology work? I don't believe in remedies.
What are remedies, Heidi?
Okay, so remedies in Vedic astrology, there's a shit ton of remedies. Okay. So Indians are about this what's the word? God, what's the word? I can't even say it right now. I've talked so much shit. Superstitious people that there ever are. So that's, I guess I am a little bit too, but they are really, I mean, there was a point where I threw out all my green clothes. And
your green clothes?
Yeah, because all these, there's so many. So apparently all these colors are bad. Remedies are, all these gemstones are good for you. I'm supposed to be wearing, coral or whatever, and I'm supposed to be wearing red. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. I don't think a gemstone is going to change my day. I don't. I do not believe it might give me I don't even believe in luck. I do not believe that wearing some sort of energy is going to fix my day at all. I don't think it's logistically doesn't make sense, just in my opinion. If I want to change my day, it's going to be because I mentally change my day. And it's because I'm conscious of what's going to happen this day. And I'm going to do what I can to avoid that. And a gemstone is not going to make me go, oh, my day is going to change. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. You're right, Z Golden Report.
What do you say?
He said, then Christianity is satanic because Christian God wants blood sacrifice.
Anybody that needs to sacrifice things is just effed up. Sorry, guys. In my opinion.
And what about the God, Heidi, that asked it and requires it? Wouldn't you say he's effed up too?
Yeah, like personally, nobody's asking me to sacrifice anything because I'll say go sacrifice yourself if it's that important.
Exactly.
I'm never gonna kill an animal. Like if as somebody says to sacrifice a lamb, that person should be sacrificed himself. That person's leg should be cut off. Like that's my opinion.
How do you really feel, Heidi?
I hate people that kill animals.
Yeah.
I hate any like if you can kill something that is and you can hurt something and abuse something that is innocent, you're a fucked up individual, and that's the truth. And we're not savages here. We're not like starving around like without food. You
I
know,
have to agree with you.
we're not living.
Are you a vegetarian person?
I don't eat much meat at all, like rarely at all, and I've never really craved it. So I'm really conscious about what I eat with meat. Like I try not to, but if it's in something, I'll eat it. I'm not, you know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Interesting. If
Yeah.
you look at your wrist, do you have a lot of like lines, like bracelets on your wrist?
Yeah, lots of them.
That typically means that you're very lucky.
Oh, that's good. I mean, lots of them. Oh my God, that's so weird.
I figured you were probably pretty lucky. That just means you're really lucky.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have about 6 bracelets.
Yeah, so you're very lucky.
Yeah. 6 on the right, 3 on the left. Oh, yeah.
And again, what does that tell you?
That I made my own luck.
Exactly. You make your own luck. Bam. How good is that?
Does Heidi eat ice cream? Yes, I love ice cream. Lots of ice cream.
Guru Prasad, I did go to India very briefly. I just went from the airport to the Marriott, and then I was actually there with a pastor that was opening a thing in conjunction with Mother Teresa's House of the Dying. So I was just in and out, but it blew my mind for the 48 hours I was there. It was wow.
Oh, some of these comments, like I know I gave some of these people. Robert, you're bothering me right now. So literally, he said, "I'll kill a lamb and sacrifice it and eat it." That's probably why you're in the
Caldera. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably why you're in the scenario that you're in. Just saying, and I'm not going to blow your spot here, but I know your chart. So, yeah. So I'm going to be honest. Like you're not in a good situation, and that's probably why you probably should stop killing lambs and animals, and you wouldn't be in the situation that you're in.
It's been said. Who said it? The guy that wrote War and Peace. What's his name? Leo Tolstoy.
What did he say?
He said, "As long as there are slaughterhouses, there will be battlefields."
So, you know what? Like, this is going to be an ugly. So, do I like hunting as a sport? No, I think hunting is fucked up. Sorry. You want to see me on a tirade? It's probably when I talk about Donald Trump and hunting. And it annoys me. That's one of the only things that I don't like about him is that family hunts. But I get when you have planets in Ardra, you hunt. It's in the chart.
Does Trump himself actually hunt? Somehow I
don't know. I feel like he might not.
He doesn't even hunt for his golf ball when he hits it off the fairway. He sends somebody else to the
Yeah, like I'm actually really surprised he actually likes golfing as much as he does.
Yeah. He very much likes it, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's more Aquarius. A lot of Aquarius is like golfing.
Yeah. Somebody says K2 caused the eclipse. Heidi thinks so, right?
No, Rahu.
Oh, Rahu, not K2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So hunting as a sport, I was engaged to somebody and I left him because he was a hunter. That's the truth.
Wow.
He decided to get me to track. So I tried to accept it for like 10 seconds. And he used to video himself in the woods and be like, and I actually set him up with my best friend. Now they're married. So that's the kind of person I am. Like,
wow.
I'm done. So this guy that I was with for many years, we were engaged, bought a house together, blah, blah, blah. He's a nice guy. But I could not get on the bandwagon about the hunting. And he used to go like, what you'd be like, what do you want to do what do you want to do? He'd be like, I want to be a professional hunter. And like, that to me was okay. Okay. But he had no goals. Like when it came to like, that's what he wanted to do. Okay. This is what this guy wanted to do. And that's fine. At least he had a goal, but that's not like my goal. Like that's the worst goal to be with me is if you want to be a professional hunter. So I won one day because I tried to get over it. And I went tracking a deer with him that he killed. I mean, he was definitely like, he fed the deer. I knew all about the points, he was only going after 12 point, 15 points. Family had farms in Iowa, whatever. And I just couldn't we tracked this deer. And when I found the blood, obviously I found the deer because I'm a detective. And when I saw the deer. I lost it. I was in tears. And I was like, you're so
Uh,
fucked up. I was like, I can't believe you would do this to me. And like, it was horrible. And I just thought the whole time about how that deer got shot, stabbed with an arrow or whatever, and then had to suffer and just run that whole track. I just thought about
he
that.
was a bow hunter.
Yeah. I thought about that deer the whole time, like during the run, like that track, you know, I was
Heidi,
like,
do your readings show if someone is an indigo, crystal, or rainbow child?
I mean, I don't even know what that is, but I can see if
Okay.
somebody is definitely, you know, a little unique.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I gotcha. Does astrology say anything about a hollow earth or an opening in Antarctica?
I don't know.
Okay. Just give me questions out of the chat room. You asked me to watch the chat room. So
yeah, no, that's good. Keep reading those questions. It's great questions. Yeah, because and this is just me personally. And if you hunt, it's not like you can't be a subscriber to my channel. I'm going to hate you. It's just like, I would never be with somebody or date somebody or have somebody in my life that was a hunter. Cause I would think like, why don't you, I think of it like you could go sit down at the courthouse and do a lot better. Like you knock off a lot better people that probably shouldn't be here, you know?
very interesting.
Like that's sick, but it's true. Like there's a lot of humans that do some shitty things, not innocent animals wandering in the woods.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Very, very interesting stuff. And I mean, now if you were going to date somebody, would you do their chart?
Oh my God. That's the first thing I ask somebody.
Yeah. And you're not going to date someone that doesn't. I mean, even if someone is super hot, exactly what you like physically, and their chart is terrible for you, would you still date them?
Never. And because I don't look at hotness, like I don't think the typical person is hot that maybe some people would think is hot. Like I'm attracted to like, you know, brains and like this sex connection that's I can only see in a chart. Like you can only see this thing in a chart. You can't see it like by dating and like hanging out and seeing if it's going to work. And now I bypass like a lot of, you know, weird nonsense.
So you would definitely go by the charts and romance.
Not romance, but the charts. I'm not like this romancer.
You would definitely go by the charts as far as who you would date.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's got to be a lot of connections because I have a starved moon. I have a debilitated Venus. So like if I don't have certain things clicking in my chart, I will be bored within 30 seconds.
Interesting.
So I have to have those things like activated in different ways at least. What's laughing?
Just some guys like, that's too bad because I'm super hot.
Yeah, I don't care. You could be like the hottest guy in the world. It doesn't mean anything to me. Like I'm not joking. Sorry.
People are throwing a lot of dates in there.
I don't even date because I don't waste time dating. I'm not a dater either.
No, a lot of people are putting in their birth dates and times.
Oh, one thing I'm going to say, I had a reading today, which is really interesting. So I just thought I would bring this up because I had a reading with somebody that was from India, and I'm not going to say who he is and what he does or anything of the sort.
But you did a reading for him.
I did a reading for him today, and it was interesting. And I was not so sometimes when I do people from India, their chart, it's like a direction that can be just like one way or the highway, you know? So, and he was definitely very open to certain things. And, you know, he's the reason, like the way he was so open was because of K2. And long story short, he knows people and knows something about channeling too. Okay. And apparently some sort of channeling, some group that channels that is well known did some channeling with Paddock. And apparently he is dead, but 5 people were the shooters. Yeah. And it was not him. Did you hear this story? I don't know what.
No, but I mean, yeah,
but this made sense. It
pretty true. It's apparent there are multiple shooters.
There were 5 shooters. Paddock is dead, and he had nothing to do with, like, he was, you know, obviously he had something to do with it because he's.
But dead. He probably didn't even fire a shot, in my opinion.
Didn't fire one shot. No. Yeah. And, you know, I don't know about shit. Like, once again, I like facts. Like, I'd want to go see the body, make sure he's dead. I still won't believe he's dead until I see his body. That's kind of how Heidi thinks. Right. Yeah, I'm a little jaded. Sorry.
But when a guy has his head blown out and there's shell casings on top of the blood, that tells you that he was killed before those shell casings came out of the gun.
I don't like, it's interesting because this is the most incredible story. This is because it's so wrong. Like it is
It is
literally
so
the
wrong.
most, if any human being with you don't even have to have a brain to like watch this and put facts together. You don't even have to be an investigator. Like anybody that doesn't see these points,
Mhm.
it's kind
So
of
Heidi, why does the entire American public buy the story?
because they don't want, once again, it's like that fear of going to hell. Why? Because the fear of believing
Good
that there's
point.
no freaking Santa Claus, right? It's, you don't want to believe it because a lot of the fear of people not thinking that there's pedophiles that are in the elites. There's that fear of, because you don't want to accept it. The majority of human beings, I'd say probably in my opinion, 75% of people probably would rather not know. Why?
Isn't that sad?
Yeah, because they don't want to know, they don't want to think it's true because literally they know if they do think it's true, it will ruin their entire life because they can't handle it. Mentally, they can't process it. And that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with it. Props to them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's just some optimistic, great stuff. But it's like very so much of you go to that brainwave thing. You just, it's like how sometimes people that are very religious extremists, whether you're Muslim, Islam, or you're an extreme Christian, they go one way or the highway and they will rip
Yeah.
heads off, and that's the problem. If those people were to, when they find out like there's a little more to the story, they're going to be so angry because their entire lives they believed a story
Yep.
that they fell for, just like Santa Claus. I will say this. When I was young, I found out really early Santa Claus was, my babysitter told me. I was so pissed. And I was young. I was so mad. I was mad at my parents. I was so freaking mad. I didn't talk to I'm still mad about it. Like I was like, they can't believe they lied to me. What else is false? Santa Claus isn't real. What the hell else? This is how mad I got. But if you start out like lying, it's like this whole stupid story. Just think about a kid that finds out when there's no Santa Claus. I'm still bitter over this.
That's, it's funny that you mentioned that. About the last woman I dated for any length of time was like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like your age and she believed in Santa Claus. And Heidi, this woman would literally see Santa Claus every Christmas. I'm telling you, it was a tulpe. It was a thought form that she had created. And
Yeah.
she sees freaking Santa Claus as real as you and me sitting here. And it really is real to her. Santa is real.
So that's Rahu. She probably had a lot of Rahu in her chart. And let me say this. It's funny because I'm the same way. I do believe if you want to see ghosts, you can make yourself see ghosts. There's a power in everybody that can do this stuff. Like this woman, yes, believed there was Santa Claus. She created freaking Santa Claus. That's fine. But like, I believe that. And I really logistically believe that is in her chart.
Veltman is sad that the Easter Bunny is not real. He feels very upset like you do about Santa.
I was so mad. I was like, you know what? Everybody's scam artists around here. Yeah. Then, so you know what I started doing? Every year, I'd go find all my presents. I'd unwrap them. I had a razor blade. I'd unwrap them and rewrap them and like slit them with a blade just to make sure, see what I was getting. And this was just like my devious self. My sister and I, it would be that time. We'd be like, let's go. And we'd go find, my mom would try to get slick and she couldn't get slick. We'd find all the presents every year. There was 2 months of the year we'd just search for presents.
Craziness.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's sad that people are they, like you said, they don't want to know the truth. And, Mark Twain said it's easier to fool someone than it is to convince them they've been fooled. They don't want to know. They just want to go on down the road and, watch their TV and have their drinks and go back to their dead end jobs for another 60 hours next week.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah. And I get it if you like Christmas spirit and stuff and you're that person. I'm not. I'm like the Grinch. I'm the Scrooge. Like, I'm just so that I'm still bitter about this Santa Claus thing that I won't even put up a Christmas tree. Like I think I have like this funny I have like one little thing. I'm just not one of those people. I'm a realist.
And if you give somebody a present, you're not going to wrap it, are you?
Oh no, I do gift cards.
Exactly. Or maybe a bag, a gift bag, to stick thing in it with some tissue paper.
Oh yeah, totally. But I'm really good at wrapping, and I am really creative when it comes to like art. Believe it or not, I'm actually pretty artistic, but I just don't like. I'm like being practical. Like, you want a present? Here's a gift card.
I mean, it always fits. They always like it.
Right.
There's never any problems with it. So why not?
Exactly. And my sister thinks that's so screwed up. She's like, can you just put a little thought into something? And I'm like, no. Does Dad want Home Depot, or does Dad want like the hardware store? What do you think's best?
Yep.
Then I got really generic. I just started doing, what is it? Like
get the Visa gift cards, man.
Yeah. Then I just got I used to try to personalize it.
I even do that with my grandkids. I'm sorry. And I don't even give them real gift cards anymore. Amazon virtual gift card. Send them an email. Boom. There you go. Done.
That's so funny. Well, now, oh God, I don't do cards. I'm the worst. I should do cards because I guess people like cards.
Santa equals Satan, says flat Earth.
True. All right, let's do like 3 charts.
Okay,
we'll do as many as Jeff can handle, because I could probably sit here all night, but Jeff, we won't do that.
You've been doing them all day long, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. I've done a lot of readings today.
So you want to, let's see.
Obviously somebody donated. We'll do that one.
I got him. I'm up there. I'm on.
You have that birthday?
Yep.
Good job.
July 8th, 1988.
Okay.
2216.
City?
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Is that an actual city?
Yes, it is. Fort, F-O-R-T, Wayne, Indiana. And they say, thank you for being you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, wow, somebody just hit you up with $25. Who was that?
All right. So, okay. You have Rahu in the first house. So you have issues with relationships. And you may not have, you're an Aquarius ascendant, so very worldly and, I don't want to say liberal, but open, but not necessarily always liberal, but just very open to helping everybody. Philanthropy, healing the world, everybody, have equal rights. Okay, so, but with Rahu in the first, it makes you a little rebellious. So Rahu in the first house is going to make you definitely rebellious, anytime you have the nodes in the first and 7th house, you have issues with relationships. And you'll have issues with figuring out who you are, because that's your life purpose here. You are here to learn your life purpose. So what's going to happen is you're going to jump into relationships, or you might say, screw it, I don't ever want to be married. It's going to go one way or the other way. I would say more so, that's too much to get into on one of these real quick things. But, it's going to give you obstacles in relationships. You'll get into relationships with people that are needy, that are extreme, that are cheat, or that you cheat. And it's just a lot. Now, if you're married and that's not, you beat the curse, and that's good. But more than likely, there's some struggles with relationships and finding out you. And whatever you're not happy with in your life, you will be looking for that in somebody else. So you'll date these people or you'll marry or, be in relationships with these people that's what you're missing in your life. So you have to really just learn, and you have to be yourself, and you have to do what you are supposed to do. And you're supposed to be free and happy and do your thing. And I will say your Rahu is in Purva Bhattapatra, which is one of the darker nakshatras. So, this is somebody that's very mystical, spiritual, can perform sacrifices, but, you have to make sure you do it in the right way. You have Mars.
And this is what I pulled, which is very interesting. You say they're kind of dark.
Yeah.
The death card.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what isn't the death card is also, what is the death card? Is that Scorpio?
I don't know the astrological ramifications of it, but it's a little bit dark, and they do like to descend into the the underworld, and they're kind of in tune with all that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean death, but I mean they are they're a lot of what you're saying.
You understand the dark side. We'll live with that, okay? And it can go one way or the highway. it's good you're listening to us, probably. I would say that's a good sign, and you're not, you're not on the other side. So, I mean, that's +1. But you have Mars in the second house that can make you very aggressive with your speech, and it can make you spend money a lot, extreme. It can make you just do things like impulsively with speaking and saying things that you probably shouldn't say. So my advice to you is, and it's in Pisces, so it's kind of emotional. So you have to really just try to make sure, my advice to you is to just, think before, because Rahu is all about impulsions, doing things quickly. And it's just like having Mars in your first house. It just extreme. So, and you'll have a lot of people that get in your way, and you'll have a lot of not support. So even if it's something that you want to do, you might not have the full support in your life by people around you. So you're really here to learn about you. And let me just say, you probably had a rough year and a half. You had some big eye-opener shifts that happened to you in the past year and a half. And there's a lot of new beginnings. So hopefully, there's a lot of positive things, and you have a lot of gifts too. So I just can't get into too many of them right now, but there's just a lot of artistic, creative talent going on too. My advice is, you're going to always be like dabbling in a lot of things, because when you have Rahu in the first, you're going to just be like, oh, what's this? Maybe I should be doing this. Then you're going to be like, oh, maybe I should be doing this. And then, oh, I should be doing this. It's a lot of confusion. So you'll grow out of it, but you're always going to probably have issues in relationships. It's going to be one of those things.
Interesting. You ready for another one?
Yeah, go ahead.
And February 6th, 1969. 10:44 a.m.
Okay.
Fremont with 1E, Ohio.
God, you're the best. I wish Rex was like this, whooping out birthdays. Oh my God.
They're new to this. They don't really understand it. They watched you on another channel last night and were impressed. So they found and they're subscribed to your channel, and they're watching now.
Oh, this is a lot of energy. Okay. God damn. All right. Okay. Did he come from your channel? I would assume, because your chart, you have some similarities.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah.
Okay. So
we're splitting this $12.50 each, right?
Yeah, I'll send you the print if I could ever get him.
I'm just kidding with
you. Okay, so this is all right. You're an Aries ascendant. Okay, so your personality, your first house, since you've never had anything about astrology, I'll tell you this. Your chart is made up of a lot of different things. So what happens is, you have your ascendant. It's the most important house of your chart. It's your life path. It's going to be, your personality. It's going to be what you're here to, your life purpose. It's going to be, things that happen to you physically, health-wise, and everything like this. So your first house in Aries, it's in a Swani. That's the first nakshatra. Swani is the risk taker, somebody that takes action, somebody that just like jumps the gun, that just dives in and handles the details. Now, what kind of details? I would say, well, you have a lot of focus on relationships, I would say.
This freaks me out, Heidi. Look at the card I pulled.
What?
The Fool. Exactly what you're saying. Risk taker, jumps in, without thinking, rushing in where angels through the tread.
Here's the thing. What happened? This is your ascendant, your personality. But let me tell you where your conflict is. Your moon is in Virgo, in Hasta. So you are the most analytical thinker that is, and so it's like this freaking confusion. Because you're going to do something, and then you're going to be like, Moon, Jupiter, K2, Uranus, Pluto conjunct in the 6th house. It's a lot of shit going on. So to say the least, you're a healer, okay? And you're definitely somebody that, this is like the world's best firefighter, world's best, somebody that's going to just jump in and be able to handle things. But there is a lot of, perfectionist thinking. So that could have been the problem. It's like you just want to dive in, but then you overanalyze things.
Mm-hmm. So should people more go with their ascendant?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You don't ever, your sun sign is irrelevant. It doesn't mean, it's important in your chart, but and then you're a Capricorn sun conjunct Mercury in the 10th house. So you're like all government detective mode, truth seeker, but then you have this Pisces, 3 planets in mysticism, escape. You got to be cautious. This is all over the place. This is a chart that you just don't kind of read on the fly, but I'm just going to, you're probably understanding what I'm saying, but you're like this go-getter, action-oriented person. You might like horses. You might like music. You like house music. And so I don't know why I said that, but not house music, like beats and like stuff like that. But then you have this moon in Virgo that's all practical health and healing. But sometimes that moon in Virgo, that's issues with the mother, that's issues with, but then you're like this musician, creative person. But then you're like this politician. It's all over the map. But very powerful for healing, getting your point across. I mean, this is a lot of success and a lot of creativity here. So, you know, that's just got to be wise because, and I'm sure you're 1960, I'm sure you've had a lot of life experiences, to say the least. Okay. And you got to be careful of, you have to learn to, one last thing I'm going to say to you, because you have Rahu in the 12th. And when you have Rahu in the 12th, there is going to be a lot of letting go in your life. Okay. So, and you're not going to like it. And it's a lot of things like, especially like romance, love, women. It's going to be a lot. You're never going to be satisfied with women. Or if you're a man, it's going to be hard to be fulfilled in love. Or if you stick it out and stick it out, it's because all those planets in Virgo and Capricorn. So it's a possibility. But, you know, there's a lot of like fantasy, like thinking fantasy land. Like you just got to be careful with that.
Interesting.
And you have K2 in the 10th now, so some career things. So you might move. There's some focus on your home, your happiness, past life issues or karma and stuff, and career. And you're going to have some expansion with business partnerships, marriages. You might meet somebody. And if not, you know, it's going to be great opportunities. And Saturn is in your 8th. You've had a rough year, I would say, you could have had an inheritance, possible. But it could have been like a loss too, because sometimes Saturn gives losses. So the 8th house is a big shift, transformation. Like, so there's a lot of surrender, letting go, big change, big death and rebirth. So lots of change. Okay.
You ready for another one?
Yes.
March 23rd, 1973. March 23rd, 1973.
Okay.
4:15 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Lakewood, Washington. I've been there many times.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, King or Pierce County?
I believe that's Pierce.
All right, this is a little less intense, but still a little.
And you got to do at least one more because you have another good contributor after this one too.
Okay, that'll be it. That will be the last one for the night. Okay, after this one and then one more. So Leo ascendant, all about using your creative self-expression. Now you don't have any planets in the first house, so you have to really like learn. You have to look into being creative. It's really hard to do things like give Leo's predictions because it's just using your creativity, however you want to do it. Whether you're acting, you're, you know, in politics, it's like using your creativity because people are going to be drawn to you. That's the gift of Leo. And it's not always easy and fun, but, you know, it's sometimes people hate Leos. And because Leos, they could say be egotistical or arrogant or whatever. But your ascendant is in the nakshatra of Purva Falguni. That's more about like the party animal, like the fun one to be around. So you know, and it's also the symbolism is the hammock. So I don't want to say you can be lazy sometimes, but there's something about you that, you know, it's like you want to make something that's like that residual income, that something that's easy. And you have the Lord of the first goes into the 8th house. So this is all about uncovering secrets. And you have 2 planets in Pisces, Sun and Venus. So you have a lot of 8th house, you know, energy. So astrology, occult, CIA, mafia, inheritance, like occult, CIA. You just want to know the facts. You want to know. Now, this is also something you could be good with money or finances. You could be good with, you know, just do something with taxes or, you know, this is just random miscellaneous things. But it probably not because it's in Pisces and it's in the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada, which is all about mystical healing, telepathic people that are very in tune to psychic abilities. You want to talk to dead people, you could talk to dead people or paranormal things. And you have also your moon is in Scorpio and Anurata. So watch my Scorpio series because you think how I act. So you're a natural detective and you would be really good in real estate too. Also, maybe some issues with children. So you could have like a lot of kids, or you might have some, some separation from your kids, possibly. It's not necessarily true, but there's Rahu's in the fifth, and I've met people that had literally just somebody had 9 sons, so it can go either way. Rahu and Ketu are unpredictable, but there's a lot of you have some focus in your 5th house and 11th house. So your 5th house is your creative self-expression. Go figure, you're a Leo. So you probably get a little lost with how to use your creativity in the right way. And then you have K2 in the 11th, which is you might rely on networks and groups and people and circles, and then they end up stabbing you in the back and being like, you have some issues there. Okay. So, but it doesn't matter. You're good with it. But point is, that's what I'll say. And you're definitely somebody that wants law and order, historian here. You just want the facts. You want the truth. You want, and you should have a channel, a conspiracy channel or a channel, and you should learn astrology. Mostly everybody that I do charts for, all should be astrologers. It's funny.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, transits too. You have had a interesting, you're Leo ascendant like Donald Trump. So big changes in your life, big shifts. And, I always say when Rahu goes to your 1st house or anything that can bring you in opportunities, it comes with a price. So it's never easy. And Rahu is now in your 12th house. So you have to watch out a little bit for hidden enemies. But if you have any like hidden talents and you do a lot of self-reflection now is the time to research and bring your gifts to fruition. And be careful, like don't be drinking and driving anywhere because Rahu in the 12th can throw somebody in jail if they do something stupid. And watch your temper.
Interesting. Now this person says 12 midnight. I know you always ask, are you sure it's really 12 midnight or are you just rounding it off? But that's what they say.
Was it like 11:59 or is it?
No, it's 12 midnight.
Because how does that work? Because then so that's the birthday. Then, okay. God, just give it to me. We'll see what happens.
07/21, 1966.
I think I know who this is. Okay. And then midnight on the nose.
12 midnight.
And city?
Seattle, Washington.
Guys.
You know who it is?
No. Who?
Oh, I thought you knew.
I don't know. It just sounds familiar.
Heidi, you're going to have to do just one more because somebody just gave you 50.
Okay.
So don't give any more. No more, right?
No more donations, guys. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I've been at it all day, and I just want to don't screw up here. All right. So you are a Pisces ascendant. Pisces ascendant in the nakshatra of Revati. So you act like I think. So Jenny is a Pisces ascendant Revati. If you watch any of my shows with Jenny, this is all about, this is crazy because this is dicey. 29 degrees Pisces. You really are on that border of this could go either way. All right. So let's just say that this is a hard chart to do on the spot, but I'll do what I can. So I would say you have Saturn, you're very, there's a lot of restraints with your creativity. So there's a lot of discipline. You're like the older one. You have a lot of responsibility and you just feel like you can't catch a break sometimes. You probably grew up really fast and you took on a lot of responsibility. Rahu in the 2nd, you have a focus on the 2nd house, 8th house, and let's just hope that this is the right time and, whatever. But if you have Rahu in the 2nd, that's focused on, there can be some issues with money, ups and downs with money. It can also be issues with, it can give you good money, like a lot of money, and then it can go away. Like you spend money and it's give and take here. But there could have been some issues when you were growing up with your family and, some things that made you want to really focus on money and worry about money a lot. And it's your Rahu's in Kritika. You're a heart, you say things. My Rahu's in Kritika too. We kind of speak what's on our mind and we really don't care. We're doing it because we're trying to protect people, and people can take it like we're being harsh. So we come off a little abrasive when we speak. Venus, Mars, Jupiter. Is this a woman or a man?
Woman.
Okay. So there's definitely some karma. I'm going to say this very like G-rated. There's karma and there's some deep past rooted issues with power struggles, with it could be sexual things, with male figures, with authority figures. And it's kind of a lot of energy going on. So I'm sure there were some things in your life that, really just, really had some life-changing circumstances to you, which made you very Saturnized. Okay. And it still hurts. It's still issues that you'll deal with, but I'll tell you, this is great for artistic things, for real estate, for law enforcement, for a lot of other good things. Like, so it's definitely can spin, but there is a lot of traumatic things that could have happened, with all that. Children, authorities, women, men, power struggles with, this is more of like so also, you definitely are probably interested in politics. This is like somebody that could have been really religious or something, and then, had some run-ins with some bad religious leaders. Just you trusted somebody that you thought was trying to help you, and they ended up hurting you. Like somebody you looked up to. And K2 in the 8th, though, it's really good for understanding death. You're very psychic, very mystical. But there can be a lot, you understand death a lot, and you have to learn, like, you're actually really good at control, surrender, manipulation, scandals. There's a lot of this going on in your life. There will be a lot of those things. You have had a lot of things that have happened to you. So, but you're probably a very strong person.
Wow.
Yeah. That was a hard chart. Like, that was one that was one of those charts.
And last but not least.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. Go ahead.
09/28/1979.
Okay.
It says 0158. So I'm saying.
So is that PM or AM?
Well, the way they wrote it, it's AM.
Okay.
It looks a military person. Looks like a military. It's 0158. It's not 158.
1358.
Yeah, it's 0158. Bisbee, Bisbee, Arizona.
Okay.
Can't tell you if it's a man or woman.
You don't have to. Let's just hope it's 1:58 a.m.
If it's not 1:58 a.m., say something.
Please, because it will be completely wrong. This will not make any sense. So please make a comment.
Say something like right now.
Right now, or we're gonna have to. Oh man. All right, we'll give him a second because they did AM.
It is.
All right, so all right, you're a Cancer ascendant with Mars in the first house.
Thank you, Balance Within.
And okay, so Cancers are very like nurturing and healing and helping, but they're also moody and aggressive sometimes too. But your ascendant is in the nakshatra of Pusha. Pusha is all about being a nurturer, and like it's the cow udder. So it's somebody that actually is too nice sometimes, okay? But then you have Mars in the first house. So Mars in the first house Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer, okay? So when Mars is in Cancer, there's a lot of irritability and a lot of power struggles, like with your own self. Like you might drive fast, get pissed, road rage, ready to like murder somebody, in a nice way. But you really can get irritable very quickly, okay? Now, great for real estate designing. Once again, contracts, making things look beautiful. And Cancers are extremely creative, great nurses, great people that heal people. I have somebody's chart that's like this, and she works in a chiropractor office. So, that she's using that Mars like in a nursing way because she's in Cancer and it's pushed up. So that's definitely a possibility. But to say the least, you can get really irritated easily. Then let me read you about Pusha. So Pusha is the eighth nakshatra. It's soft-hearted, travel. It's people that know sacred speech, people that are very knowledgeable with ancient texts. It's somebody that is a master of the third eye like the third eye chakras or whatever. Definitely somebody that's, has a lot of gifts with that. But these people, like the preachers, like you might have been very religious at some point of your life. You might still be. So it's just somebody that has very professors, very religious, close-knit families. And, but the thing about this is once your views are your views, and you don't like to, like, you're one of those people that if you found out that things were wrong, you would be bitter about it. Like, so my sister has a double cancer, and she's very, like, she can hold a grudge, like, more so than I can even explain. Worse than me, and I can hold a grudge for a long time. Jupiter, Rahu, and Saturn in the second house. Okay, so there could have been some money, like, so finances and your family situation growing up could have had some restraints, but good things too. Maybe it could have just been religion. You could have been upbringing. You could have had a strict upbringing, like you were brought up in like the Mormon church. This is just I'm giving you an example, but that really had a lot of discipline and a lot of structure, but made you kind of rebel, and makes you think a lot. And it's all in Leo. So, there's a lot of, even though you're very religious and you have these disciplined ways, you're still going to dabble. Like, you're still going to want to know. So you are going to, but this can give some issues with money, ups and downs with money. And could be a nice balance though, because you have a nice balance of spending it and saving it. There's a nice conjunction that you have like a little balance here. So, good at writing, good at healing. Mercury, Venus, Sun. That's somebody that is all about healing and hasta, just like you, Jeff, healing with your hands. And this is in the third house of the hands. This is even more. You should be healing people with your hands. Reiki, master, palmistry, whatever you want to do with your hands. And you're also probably a really good writer. But I would say this is more physically healing with your hands and making people feel better, because it's Venus, it's Mercury, and it's Sun. So Moon in the sixth, Moolah. And you think you want to know the facts, you want to get to the bottom of things, the roots. You might like organic stuff, like natural, which, I don't know any of those terms, but like you're real into like, agriculture stuff, right herbs, right healing with like natural things and oils and stuff like that. So that's definitely all up your alley, and you're probably really into health and healing. You would make like a great coach too, for sure. And then K2 in the eighth, this is like very spiritual, understanding people. There's a lot of, surrender, letting go, but you handle it well, and you want to know the secrets. You want to know the facts. You want to know, you're like investigative mode. So just so you know, you have Rahu getting ready to go into your first house. It just went in there. Rahu in your first house, you're going to be very irritable. So I guarantee you, starting like at this eclipse, you've been getting real feisty. And very, like, your nerves have been tested to every extreme, because Mars in your first house in Cancer doesn't like to be there. Rahu gets there and amplifies things. So I will say you need to be cautious, because you are accident prone. Mars in the first house is somebody that's accident prone. I have it in my first house. It's somebody that's like, just gets into weird, can be clumsy sometimes, but then not even just clumsy. Like, you just hit your head a lot, you could get bloody nose, like broken noses and stuff. But Mars is also cars, accidents, blood. So you have to be cautious with accidents. And now especially, because Rahu brings unexpected explosions, be careful. Don't leave anything on the, and I don't want to say this to scare you, but if I didn't say these to you and something happened, I would feel like shit. So you have to make sure you turn off your stoves, because when you have Mars in the first house, you just like go and you just do things and you might forget. So make sure you shut off your curling irons, or you shut off your saws, or turn out your candle. I don't know if this is a male or a female, so I'm just like rambling things off, but you have to be careful. But this is great for bringing you a ton of opportunities to make money, to have big changes and big shifts in your life. And if you're not married, you might meet somebody. If you are married, you might have some issues with your relationship. some fights, power struggles. But you have a lot of big things changing in your life, and it's going to be a year and a half of this. So you have to just calm. And Saturn's going to be on your moon. So this is going to be like extreme. Emotionally, you're going to feel like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? And then it's going to be like, it's going to be a lot of ups and downs. Like it's going to feel heavy, but it can definitely, if you can just know this, you can really, really, really use this powerfully and just be cautious and use all that crazy energy to manifesting whatever you want. Did you pull any cards?
No, because you were wanting to get through them. So
now pull a card though for this.
Okay. Was just trying to keep the chat room in order. People are talking a lot about that rapper who I won't name that.
Oh my God, he's a slime bag. What a
put
loser.
Out that rap, yeah.
Yeah, that was pathetic. He can't even rap anymore. He sounds like a freaking stuttering Stanley anymore. He's
and oh, guess what? He's got a new album coming out. What a coincidence.
You know what? I can't. This is why I don't even like music with words anymore. I just can't stand. I cannot stand any celebrity, like anybody that feeds into anything. I just hate celebrities. I hate celebrities. I hate musicians that sing, that are all on that bandwagon. I just can't stand them. They're all screwed up.
How about the guy that was playing in Vegas when the shots went off? And Dana White, the guy that's the head of UFC, asked him to sing the national anthem in Vegas right after that. And he's like, oh, no, I'm so upset. I don't know if I'll ever perform live again.
Yeah.
And the next night, the idiot's opening up Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. See, you can't trust any of these freaking people.
No, you can't.
You really can't. And when you know they're all in that ring, those rings and shit, not one of them I can trust anymore. Not one of them.
Somebody asked a question. The guy from India asked a question, do Westerners believe in reincarnation? What would you say?
But some do that are like, I think you should like think about it because it makes a lot of logistic sense. Yeah. Like in my opinion, it's the only thing that makes sense. This is what I like about reincarnation.
This is what I pulled. This is interesting.
What is it?
The devil.
Yeah. Okay.
So big changes. Lots of powerful energies going around. Like you said, it feels like
lots of stress.
Lots of stress, but it feels like there's chains on you, but those chains could be slipped right over your neck. So they're not really chains. They just feel like they're chains. Okay, so I'm starting to get familiar with this card because this is a lot of work, lots of hurdles, this is a lot. Just won't do the major arcana, will you? You got to do the whole deck.
Yeah, no, I play with the whole deck. Do
the major arcana. You're like, no,
no way. Because I got to learn these things. The best thing to do is throw yourself in the fire and learn. So so maybe that's something that we should talk about because I said that, but you really need to calm like that Martian energy down. You are going to be tested to the extreme. And you need to be, like you said, caution is in order, not doing anything, not being fearful, but be cautious and take, ordinary precautions. And it's not as bad as you think it is. It just looks bad. It's really not bad. Yeah. Right. King of Pentacles. That's a great card, right? That looks like a great card to me. Yeah. Money. So it's good to be the king. Yeah. I mean, here's how I look at this. If you can be like, hold your anger in and hold like the annoyingness and just hold and let go of the chains in a way. Like you will be tested though. You'll be tested to where you end up like really losing it. Like where you feel really stressed. So that breaking point of the no return where you can make some bad mistakes. So you just have to know that, but you have a lot of planets in Virgo. So I feel like you're fine. Like your sun's in Virgo, your Venus is in Virgo, Mercury's in Virgo. When you have all those planets in Virgo, these people can calm this down, luckily. So. Absolutely. Yeah. Very interesting stuff. Did that make sense to anybody in here? I mean, did you see if they said, yeah, no, yeah, no? Who is it? Is that M, the MCs? Let me see. This would have to do with relationships. Yes. I wonder if this has to do with relationships because I just pulled the Lovers card. Why is everybody a tranny now? They say that somebody saw Jason Aldean saying it was a woman. I mean, come on, man. Everyone that's a woman's a man. Everyone that's a man's a woman. Yeah.
I don't get that stuff.
God, I know. It's so crazy. This world is just so crazy.
This
Yeah.
world, has the world gone crazy or have you? That's a question you have to ask.
Oh no, I'm about as sane as they get.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, I am.
There you go.
I am. All right. So do we have
That
any
was
more
good
questions?
stuff.
Yeah, Jeff, do we have any questions? Can we ask a Rod? Oh, can I ask a Rod a question? I had a question. Did you ask it anything about the shooting?
No.
Would you, or you don't have to if you don't want to?
No, what do you want to know?
I want to know a little bit about about the shooting in Vegas.
Well, you know, it only does yes or no questions.
I know. Yeah. So let's bring these rods out and ask.
Let's rub them on the cat first.
Bring the cat? Where's the cat?
I'm rubbing the rods on the cat.
Okay.
Cleanse them.
Okay, and you make these, right? So Jeff order these rods, and let me tell you something about
these. And I
rods.
just caught up with all the orders, so I'm ready to go again.
My God, let's just say Jenny and I have asked Rod questions a lot, and they have been just like I say about Jenny with the tarot, you know, and Jeff is right on with these tarot cards too. But Jeff and these rods, whew, like crazy things have happened and been very accurate.
Now, Davey from Scotland wants everyone to know that he is not a tranny. Just so you know.
Yeah.
So what questions do you want to ask?
Okay, I want to know.
Ms. Vandenberg?
I would like to know, was Paddock a real human being? And okay, yeah. So let's start basic.
Was Paddock a real human being? Yeah. Yes.
Is he dead?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't heard anyone even question that.
I have.
Oh, yes, I have. Is Paddock dead? Wow, it says no.
I said that. I knew he was.
What's his first name?
Steve Paddock.
Is Stephen Paddock, the Las Vegas shooter, dead as of October 12th, 2017? It says no.
I know. He's sitting on a beach. I have said that. He is still alive. Like, hands down. Yeah.
He's sitting on a beach. They really were cleaning house.
Yeah. He is part of this scam, but I think, yeah.
He is alive. Wow, that's something.
That's a big yes, too. Right? That's a big, he's alive.
Yeah, that was very strongly. Yeah, he is definitely.
Yeah. Okay, let's ask it. Okay. I'm going to ask it some really crazy questions. Sorry. And we're going to get, was the FBI, the CIA involved in this shooting? Like part of this whole thing?
Okay. Was the FBI and CIA involved in this? Oh, yeah. Very hard. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Was he in the FBI or CIA? Because he did work for Northrop Grumman. Right. He was on private jets. Was he this guy in the CIA? And now he just decided to take the route and he lives in an island somewhere. And
Amanda B loves kilts. I'm not going anywhere near that. Was Paddock in the FBI or CIA? Yes.
Yes, I knew it. Oh, God.
And you know what's also interesting?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise movie just came out this weekend, right by the shooting. They knew, they know these release dates before they release them, obviously. And that movie's about the whole Mena, Arkansas government running drugs.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right. Ready for this? Okay.
Yep.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I have to ask.
Are you going to say swamp gas?
No, no. I'm going to ask it. Is Donald Trump disappointed with how that went down? Like, wait, hold on. Let me start over. Was Donald Trump a part of this?
Was Donald Trump involved in the Las Vegas?
And wait, let's clarify. Was he on the bad side? So,
did Donald Trump have any nefarious involvement in the Las Vegas shooting? You ready?
Yes.
No, not at all.
Yes, I knew it. I fucking knew it. Okay.
Not at all.
Is he very disappointed in what is going on? And
2 people died on the set of that Tom Cruise movie, according to Virginia Robbins.
God, I knew it.
What do you mean, is he disappointed?
Like, is he like extremely upset, disappointed because he knows what happened? Like, he knows. Like, is Donald Trump aware of that everybody is sketchy and everybody's out to get him?
Does Donald Trump know that everybody is out to get him? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Does Donald Trump know the story behind the story about Las Vegas? He knows part of it, yeah.
Is he disturbed by it?
Is Donald Trump disturbed by the whole Las Vegas, the totality of the Las Vegas event? Oh, yeah.
Does Donald Trump have good intentions? Sorry.
There we go. That's a good question.
This is what I want to hear. This. I know these answers, but can
we just let's ask this one first? Is Donald Trump probably a little brash? Yeah. Does Donald Trump say some things that he probably shouldn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Heidi? Yeah.
Does Donald Trump have good intentions? Yes, absolutely. Powerful.
Those things swinging. Boom. Yes. I knew it. Sorry, guys. The rods always are right, too. Those were like solid yeses.
Those were very solid. Yeah.
Those were wonderful. All right.
I do make these all by hand, by the way.
God, this is amazing. I'm going to sleep well tonight. You know that?
Good.
Aren't you? Doesn't that make you feel good though? Like this is right.
Is Donald Trump's hair CGI? No. I make these rods. You can get them on my channel if you want.
Okay, let's get this. To get these rods, you have to buy these rods. I'm going to buy these rods. Seriously. It's just that you have to buy them. They're always right. Okay. Does Donald Trump,
It's better if you can rub them on a cat, though, first.
Was he part of the scam? I want to know if Donald Trump is part of this. Was he, you know how I always say he was a mistake?
Yeah.
He slid in there and now he was not part of the plan. Well, he was, but not really, you know?
Yeah.
How do you ask?
What's the question?
I don't know. You got to help me out with the words.
Is Donald Trump a true outsider? Yes, for sure.
Thank you. I freaking am so happy right now. You know what? For that, I got to rub my little troll. Where is he?
Oh, your little Donald Trump troll?
Yes. That makes I'm so happy because I knew it. And I'm so glad. These weren't even stupid. These weren't even answers that were like, oh, maybe, you know, and let me tell you, that's how I know his intentions are. It's like, he's really a mess right now. I think people are, oh God, I'm so happy.
He's so tired. He's tired of it. He really is.
Yes. He is actually probably sickened of what this country and what the things that he is up against.
Is Elvis alive? No, he's not alive.
Oh, my neighbor asked me this once. Is Tupac alive?
Tupac?
Yeah, is Tupac alive?
Tupac alive? No, Tupac is not alive.
I figured he was dead.
Tupac is not alive. Lee Goldman thinks you're very cute with the Trump troll.
I love my little Trump troll.
The little Trump troll, absolutely.
What else?
I will say this. When we did the show with you and myself and Jenny, and you guys are saying that Charlie Hodge killed Elvis, and the rods are saying Charlie Hodge killed Elvis. I'm saying I know you
were really upset.
I'm like, there's no way, they're not right. And then I came across this really old interview with Elvis's doctor, and Elvis's doctor said that some person in his inner circle killed him, and they bleeped out the name and kind of smudged it. But I swear, by reading lips, he said Charlie Hodge.
All right, we got to ask it now because I just did Kurt Cobain's chart.
That's so hard for me to say.
It's upsetting. I know, Jeff.
Because I know Charlie. Charlie was a good friend of mine.
He's dead, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what's sick?
But he could have, like Jenny said, he was MK Ultra and didn't even know, may not even remember doing it.
Yeah, I guess. You know, I don't really know much about that, but apparently it happens, you know? So... And just like that book, and what was that thing that she had? And he had that book, and in that book there was the sign, the Thunderbolt or whatever.
Oh, that's the book I have. My
yeah.
My notepad that I got at Graceland.
Yeah, TCB though. What does that mean?
Well, it means taking care of business, but you're like, no, it's all about Charlie. Charlie did come up with this logo. The lore is that Priscilla did, but it was Charlie. And Jenny says that the Thunderbolt's all about MK Ultra.
Yeah. All right. Now I have one other question. We got to ask it because I just did Kurt Cobain's chart. Okay. Yeah. And I have my own assumptions about that.
Uh-huh.
Was he?
I know nothing about Kurt Cobain, by the way. I couldn't even
don't either until I looked
tell you
at
one of his music or anything.
So it was okay. Obviously, Kurt Cobain had a drug addiction problem.
Yeah, I know that much.
Clearly, was Kurt Cobain was he murdered? Let's just start with simple.
Let's move on the cat first.
Was Kurt Cobain murdered?
Cats have good energy. I'm not just being silly.
No, I know.
Okay, was Kurt Cobain murdered?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
And I have no.
Knew it. Okay. Did his wife have an involvement, or his friends? It was somebody in his friends. So either I shouldn't even say this because they're probably gonna come kill me next. But it's all right. Only the good die young.
Isn't it easier to ask how many of his friends Courtney was not sleeping with?
Yeah. So did Courtney get him did she get him killed?
Okay.
Did Courtney get him killed, and did his friends have a part of it? Those are my two other questions.
Did Courtney kill him, or did she get him killed?
Oh, okay. You could start out with she killed him, but I think she wasn't. She obviously, I don't think she killed him, but I think she.
Did Courtney Love kill Kurt Cobain?
Yeah.
This says a very slow no, so no, but there's a lot more to the story.
Okay. Did she hire somebody to kill him?
Did Courtney Love hire someone to kill Kurt Cobain? Yes.
See? All right. Yeah, that's totally in the charts.
And the Scientology thing, Elvis's daughter became a Scientologist.
Yeah. And did Courtney, so it was her. It wasn't even the friends. It was totally her. Like, she was all over this mess. And she's a mess.
She had a very large financial interest in him dying, right?
Did, because it had to, okay, let's ask it because did it have to do because of literally, I mean, would say it's strictly over money, like hands down, because if he signed a prenup with her, or he made her sign a prenup, and her own father said that she probably had somebody do it. I mean, it's like common sense, because if he wouldn't have died in a murder, she wouldn't have got anything. But because he died, she got insurance money.
By the way, one of Donald Trump's biggest pieces of advice is always have a prenup. Period.
Smart man.
Yep. Always have a prenup.
Because then you won't be in a situation where it's cheaper to keep her.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
All righty then.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we got some clarification. Oh, and I just got the devil reversed.
So that's better than the devil straight up, I guess. It just depends.
That I look at this like we just uncovered the secrets. You see? Like the chains are now released.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
What I'm saying, like, because I don't know what any of these mean, but now I look at like we just uncovered the secret. Oh, is Michelle Obama a man? That's a great question. I kind of want to know that too.
Do you really want to ask that? See, if it was on my channel, I wouldn't ask it, but it's your channel. So
yeah, I would love to know that. Yes, absolutely.
Is Michelle Obama? I don't even want.
Okay.
Is Michelle Obama a man?
Yeah.
It's very, very slow. Yes. So it's like.
Is she a hermaphrodite? Isn't that what it's called?
I can rub it on the cat first.
Okay.
Thanks, Rooney, for cooperating. Is Michelle Obama a man? Dude, that's a hard yes.
Oh, my God. Oh, God. Come on, the fans want our questions answered. Okay, we have to ask these questions.
That's hardcore, yes. Thank you, mister.
All right, let's ask it. What else did I saw something else crazy like that. Hold on.
Oh, they asked, is Tom Cruise gay? Is Tom Cruise gay? Strong no. I don't think he's gay.
I don't either. I think he might not be so bad.
I have to admit, I have a semi-man crush on Tom Cruise. I really like Tom Cruise. Yeah. Always like Tom Cruise. The thing I like about Tom Cruise, rich, famous, and if he was smart, when people asked him about religion, he'd just say, oh, you know what, I'm an actor. I don't really talk about religion. That's what Elvis used to always say. Yeah. But not Tom Cruise. They ask him about Zemu, and he's got to talk about Zemu on and on and on and on, and millions of dollars are flying out of his mouth as he speaks. But the man has the courage of his convictions, and I respect that.
Yeah.
End of Tom Cruise man love.
All right, I got some Korea questions. It's a great question because I'm still stuck on my Korea tyrant. So
you know what the thing I thought about Kim, what's his name?
Kim Jong, whatever, Un or whatever. I want to know if he is a fake. Like, is he a plant? Because if he's
I
a
was
plant,
just gonna say, if you look at his name, it's really like Kim Jong-un.
yeah,
Like he's almost a joke.
yeah.
What's the question? Is Kim?
Is he fake? Like, is he really? Is he all part of like the whatever?
Is Rocket Man fake?
Rocket Man.
This says yes.
Wow.
Slow yes, but yes. Rocket Man is fake.
Okay, because have they tried to kill Rocket Man already?
Have governmental agencies tried to assassinate Rocket Man? Yes.
So how's he fake? You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's
Well, I
good.
mean, he could have been put up as a fake, and then he decides, I'm brilliant man.
Okay. Are we gonna go to war with North Korea?
Oh.
Sorry, I have to ask. Me too.
Is the United States going to go to war with North Korea? The rods say no.
Okay, good. Is there going to be something that happens? What if Trump makes amends, fixes it? Ask it that. Will Trump fix it? Because that could happen.
You know what? I just got the wildest thought.
Yeah.
What if Kim ends up going up to China as a political refugee and he just leaves the scene and South Korea and North Korea reunite?
What if they just like buy him a big like amusement park to play around in, and with a bunch of Dennis Rodmans floating around? He'd probably be so happy.
Oh, him and Rodman. Maybe that could be a love relationship. Dennis and Rocket Man.
So Rocket Man, can Rocket Man be bought?
Of course he can, I would say. Can Rocket Man be bought? Yeah, he can be bought.
Okay, so this is what I think my newest tyrant's going to be. I think Trump's going to fix it. I do.
I do too. Is that Beelzebub?
It was a fruit fly. Yeah.
Have you seen that fly flying around Rex? That thing looks like a jet.
No.
And he can't kill it. He calls it Beelzebub because it's always there when he's on the air.
Oh God. Okay, so that's good. That's good. North Korea's not okay. Are we gonna have what else do I want to know? God, I
think Trump is gonna fix it. I really do.
I think maybe that's what's gonna be a saving grace, because the way their charts align, once again, and here we go. You want to talk about you can't predict Rahu and Ketu? They have a relationship. Like they have a past, like if I would have saw their charts together, I would have said it's like a karmic past life relationship. So,
Trump and Rocket Man?
No, Trump in North Korea, like the chart of North Korea. So it could go really ugly or it could be really good. And I think I've even said that, like, or they could have been past love, like on one of Rex's shows I did. And I said, it could even be like their past loves, right? Just, anyway, but that would make sense. And I didn't even think of that, but it's true. I mean, I do think it's strange that.
Will there be a huge earthquake in California? Well, yeah, there will, but who knows when? It's obviously it's on. Let's
ask. No, because I think that's something serious. Will there be a huge earthquake in California within 1 year?
Within 1 year? Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Will there be a huge earthquake in California within 1 year? No.
2 years.
Are you serious?
Yes. Jeff, I can
do this. Will there be a huge earthquake event within 5 years in California? Yeah, we're getting there.
No, I never ask it. I'm never going to ask it that word. I'm never going to say that. Never. Sorry, Crystal. I know it's a great question, but I would never even say that on live.
Yeah, I didn't read it.
All right, so.
Oh yeah, I would never ask that either. I would never say that.
You know why?
Because never put that out in the ether.
Yeah, because sometimes energy can be passed along.
Yeah, we're not going to put that out there. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. And trust me, he's not stupid. He is 15 steps ahead of any of these people. He knows. So.
Oh, somebody asked, was 9/11 an inside job? Yes, of course.
A black cat showed up on your doorstep. That's a good sign, in my opinion.
Black cat showed up on my doorstep this year. I would say good. A black cat showed up on this person's doorstep. Is that good?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Will the U.S. have a civil war? No.
Huh.
Is Trump a time traveler? No.
Please ask Heidi if she can tell your past life. I mean, yeah, I can give you some clues, but not really. But ask of the rods. Can Heidi tell you your past life?
Oh. Can Heidi tell you your past life?
It's got to be a no.
It's just like you probably could if you wanted to, but right now, probably not.
I'm not really into that right now.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what it's saying. She's not really into that.
Will Trump? Okay, will there be a nuclear war? Will there be a nuclear war?
Just that. Will there be a nuclear war?
Yeah.
Will there be a nuclear war? It says no.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like everybody's got to get back to work.
Are nuclear weapons real?
Well, that's a good question.
It says yes.
Yeah, I would say they are.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah. What about Antifa rioting on November 4th? Because it did look dicey. So.
Will Antifa riot on November 4th? Undecided.
Okay.
I'm not sure what November 4th is.
Maybe it's something else. Hold on. Chef.
Somebody says, Chef Maga says Jesus is the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Amanda, you like cats. That's because you got a strong Mars in Scorpio, just so you know.
Interesting. All right.
All righty. Well, that's enough.
Excuse me, I just yawned very openly.
We have been on here for 2 hours, and Jeff, you've done a lot of shows, and you were on 4 hours last night.
5.
Do we sleep? Do you and I even sleep? I don't think so.
I sleep from 4 till 7:30, and then I take 3 half-hour naps. Who's bisexual?
Okay, this is a great question. I do want to know this. Will Pence be the next president?
Oh, wow.
Last question. We're going to end on that one.
Rub him on the cat. He's like, what are you doing? Can you see him?
No.
He just grabbed the rods. Okay. Well, okay, I got to get rid of this right here. Witchcraft. Bite me with your witchcraft. Will Mike Pence be the next president of the United States? Yes.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Will Mike Pence be the next president of the United States? Yeah.
Will Trump is Trump already allowing this to happen because he's burned out?
How do I ask that question?
I don't know. Sorry. Hold on. Let me ask it. See, will
Donald Trump resign?
Yeah.
Will Donald Trump resign? It's like maybe. It's gone through his mind.
Is Donald Trump basically setting up Mike Pence to be the president because he's
there you go. Is Donald Trump setting up Mike Pence to be president? Yes. Let me ask a question I got from some inside news. Is Donald Trump allowing Mike Pence to build his own political organization? Yes.
Is Donald Trump going to finish his full term?
Will Donald Trump finish his entire first term as president? It's not decided.
Yeah.
Look at that. Let's try it again. Rub him on the cat.
I believe Trump's tired.
I think he's sick and tired. Will Trump finish his first term as president?
Get this freaking whack job out of here.
It's like, yeah, I think he probably will.
Yeah.
He probably, yeah, that man, what an idiot that person was.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting question. Will Ivanka run for president?
I think possibly at one time, sometime down the road.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to seriously consider it.
All right, I got a question. Will Hillary Clinton go to prison?
I don't see that happening, but let's see.
I think
you just
so.
said that she probably will. Will Hillary Clinton go to prison? I don't think so. And it's like, no, but it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Is she getting called out on her stuff? Will things be Will Hillary Clinton's demons come out of the closet?
Yeah. Will Hillary Clinton's skeletons come out of the closet? Yes.
Yeah. Can't wait for that day. Okay,
Yeah, I can't wait either.
God, I can't wait.
She deserves, I mean, people that are that evil deserve to be called out.
Yeah.
I met Bill. Bill was very, very charismatic, very, very nice. I met her and she literally scared me.
Trump, I'm going to say Bill Clinton, he's a bad seed. So he might be nice, but
he's a wonderful gem of a guy.
Could be a gem, but he's also, he's got his own things. All right. I know
Bill Clinton's a peach.
Yeah, right.
Bill, that's Doc Holliday was like, he's a peach.
Won't matter at some point. Oh yeah, somebody, you know what? I have a great question because somebody told me that the whole power grid was going to fail. We were going to go back to the Stone Age. I had to go to the bank and take out money, and I did, and nothing happened. Is that going to happen?
You drank the Kool-Aid, huh?
I did. I got freaked out. Somebody told me, he was like, look, it's getting shut down. You got to go. I went to the bank, took money out.
Is the power grid going to fail? No.
I knew it. Are Bitcoins going to be the next? Yes.
Well, Bitcoins already are.
I know they've already increased a lot, but I already had I've been saying this for months to people. Are Bitcoins going to be like the new credit cards?
Why does bright Celtic moon shake my head think this is so bad?
I don't know.
Is that your phone?
It's an email, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe your ice was tinkling in your glass. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of ice. What's the question?
What did I say? Are Bitcoins? No, power grid's not going down. Is the Bitcoins going to, or the Bitcoins?
Here, you just ask it. Ask the question.
Okay, are Bitcoins going to be like the new way of money?
It says yes.
Yeah. See, I got to invest in those puppies. Okay.
Yeah.
And gold. Is gold going to make a comeback?
Well, gold's never gone away, is it?
Yeah, but is it going to go up? I think silver is going to be.
Is gold going to make a comeback? Yes, gold is very important. That was it almost hit me in the face.
What about silver?
Just go to the, excuse me, go to my website, jeffreydaugherty.com, hit the store.
No, you should not kill spiders.
I wouldn't kill spiders. Here's a good question.
Oh.
Is Lee Veltman a blue avian? No.
I have a question. The praying mantis that I played with at my office, literally hand-fed this puppy. Was that giving me a sign?
Was the praying mantis at Heidi's office giving her a sign? Yeah, it was.
That was yeah?
Kind of hesitated a second.
Is it just my friend because I'm like Snow White?
No way.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Was the praying mantis at Heidi's office a sign? Says yes.
Okay, good.
Interesting. All righty, I'm going to put these away.
All right, guys. That's all we have for tonight. We've been on here a long time. So that was a lot of fun. And make sure everybody subscribes to Jeff's YouTube channel. It's The Christian Whistleblower. And he has a lot of other things. He has written books. He is an author. You can get his books. He's got a website. It's in the link. I'm going to pin it on the comments below. So yeah, you already put them away. I did want to know if we landed on the moon too.
Okay.
All right, just one more. Yeah, just one more. Did you already asked it if the earth is flat. What did it say? No?
No. Yeah. All right. Did we land on the moon? Hard yes.
Okay, did Heidi come from Mars? I would like to know. I have two questions. Did Heidi come from Mars, and was Heidi Indian in her past life?
Okay, so did Heidi come from Mars? That's weird. Why would you think that? It says yes.
Yeah, I knew it.
Did Heidi come from Mars? Yes. Now, are you talking about India or Native American?
India, like straight up from India. Yeah.
Was Heidi? Stop it. Rub him on the cat again. What am I do without the cat?
I don't know.
Did Heidi have a past life in India? Wait, that was kind of delayed reaction.
Ooh.
Did Heidi have a past life in India? Yeah, you did.
Okay. But Heidi came from Mars. But I definitely came from Mars. I knew
India
it.
and Mars.
India and Mars. I knew it.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Isn't it? Not Venus. My Venus is debilitated.
Your Venus is debilitated?
Yeah, Jeff, you might have came from Venus. Seriously.
Show me your left hand again. The palm of your hand. Wow. Show me the palm of your right hand, please. Show me your left hand again. Your Venus is debilitated.
Yeah. Thanks. Just confirming it.
It's flat. Yeah, but it's getting better on your right hand. So you're coming more into your feminine, your sensuality, but you're still kind of...
I'm pretty dry.
You were born with a debilitated Venus for sure.
Yeah, I knew
Amanda B getting naughty in the chat room.
Oh, that's so funny.
That is funny.
God, and what does the M mean on your hands when you have an M? Does that mean anything?
I don't really talk about it being an M. I talk about it as being the great triangle.
Mm-hmm.
That means that the bigger it is, the better it is for you as far as luck and health and overall good stuff.
All right. Well, thanks. I knew I was from Mars. Is Jeff from Venus? I'd like to know. I think he is.
Am I from Venus? Are you serious?
Well, maybe Mars too, actually. I take that back. You're probably from Mars. You have Mars in the 12th house in Maga. So, yes.
Am I from Venus? No. One more time.
Jeff from Mars? Is Jeff from
Am
Mars?
I from Venus? No.
Is Jeff from Mars?
Am I from
Rahu?
What?
Jeff's from Rahu.
I'm from Mars?
Yeah,
Am I from Mars? Says yes. That's weird. Yeah. So, did Heidi and I know each other on Mars?
Yes.
We did. That's weird.
And I bet Rex too. I bet all of us that are intertwined here did.
I thought Rex was from Uranus.
No.
Is Rex from Mars? He is from Mars.
Rex is from Mars.
So there was like a civilization on Mars, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's because all of those megalithic architecture up there and stuff.
Yeah. And my ascendant's in Jesa, so people that have planets in Jesa that are in that, Jesa is the warrior. Jesa is the fighter. They have long middle fingers because of the bow and arrows. They used to kill, they're good hunters. They used to fighters, warriors. So I'm sure we had a big brawl in Mars at some point of our lives.
I have long middle fingers. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And
all right, this is the last question. Tom Cruise man crush. Yeah, Jess from Venus. I forgot the question that she asked. She's asked it like 800 times.
Oh, is Amanda? She's a queen? What did she ask? If she's a queen?
No, not that one.
Okay.
What was it?
Did you ask about aliens?
Oh, crap. Oh, that one. I think I know the answer to this. Is Bill Clinton a rapist?
Yes.
Duh. Yeah, he's a rapist.
But he's a nice guy.
But he's a charismatic rapist.
Yeah.
Why would he have to rape any woman? It seems like he could just mac his way in there.
Yeah.
Because it's a power. Rape is not sexual. Rape is power.
Yeah, rape. No, and there he's doing people he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And she probably haven't, whatever. So.
I've had a discussion with what's her name? That first one Paula Jones.
Yeah.
She's not all there. I mean, she's probably a couple fries short of a Happy Meal, but yeah, he messed her up bad, I think.
Well, I mean, but you can't believe all these women either, because look,
that's true.
You have to look at each woman as, look, women are sketchy and scandalous, and if they can get some money out of it or try to blow up a spot, they will. So what
was the guy's name? The bald-headed guy that was part of their campaign guy, Jimmy Carville. He's like, you never know what you can get when you drag a $50 bill through a trailer park. I mean, there is some truth to that.
You want to know something really crazy? So I've
something really crazy.
It's a funny story, actually. So I have like 6,000 connections on LinkedIn. I have lots of connections. I don't even know half of them. I have more connections on LinkedIn than I do subscribers on YouTube. Anyway, but one day I was looking through my connections because I don't remember why, just sending some emails about real estate or whatever. And I am friends with Jeff Epstein on LinkedIn.
Help me who Jeff Epstein is.
Not a good person.
Okay.
One of those, like part of the Podesta, the elite thing. He's the island or whatever, is part of that stuff. And it was so weird. And I don't even know how I'm friends with him. Like because I accept everybody and just say yes, but I have a lot of interesting connections on there. But him, it was really weird.
Somebody says if Jenny was watching this, she'd be going crazy.
Jenny knows. I told her that. I was like, you're never going to believe this. I told Jenny and Rex. They were the first two people I told.
Oh, Jeffrey Epstein. He's big in, he's with Podesta and them, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he's
right.
my friend on LinkedIn. Yeah. It's crazy. And he's from New York. And I mean, I don't know. It's so weird.
That's just so he's creepy because he's just friending attractive women.
Chicks, probably. Yeah. All right. That's it.
All right. One more damn question.
Jeff, you're like me. I know.
Did Zionists have a hand in the Las Vegas event? Oh, yeah. Big time.
You love that question. You loved that one, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it.
I want to know.
Why do you say that?
Because I can tell. I can tell that you know stuff about that.
Yeah. I'm thinking about making a video that's ISREAL is not.
Interesting. Everybody asks me if I'm Jewish. Let me just.
Has time traveler been abducted by aliens? Yes, but what are aliens? Anyway, so yeah, that was the question that she asked.
Is Heidi an alien? Because I think I might be. I just
found out you're from Mars.
I know. Just ask it if I'm an alien, because I really do believe I am sometimes.
Is Heidi an alien? Well, yeah, you're from Mars, so you got to be an alien.
Did it say yes?
It said yes.
Yeah, I knew it. I dropped out of the sky from the stork. I do believe that.
Nice.
All right. Do we have any more? Or are we done? Are we done with the question?
I think let's go. Let's be done.
All right. Because we could probably do this all night.
We probably could.
All right.
That was fun, Heidi. Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, so make sure everybody subscribes to Jeff's channel, and thanks for watching, and buy his books, get his rods. That sounds so funny. And
everybody grab Jeff's rods.
Yeah, so have a good night, and we will talk to you soon. Jenny and I will be live tomorrow at 3. Have a good night, guys. Let me just shut it off. Make sure I do this right.
It's still live. Don't say anything.
I know. It takes me a while. That was fun.